Hey, hey, SBG solution based gang, like, share, subscribe. Say no to rim, brothers, mothers, fear and sell no good suckers. Hype him up, hype him up. Shouts out Sharoon, Bracy, and the Waters. Wake up morning show, salute, big dog, shout out to the Lord. PH, give a salute, Brownsville, SBG solution based gang.
Bah, let's go. Good day, everyone. How are we doing today? Having a little technical difficulties, but we are going to get through it regardless. You know how we do. We grind. We don't get through this thing together. For some reason, I cannot add a thumbnail. And it's been wild. It's been wilding. Good day, ATM. How you feeling today? It's wilding on me. And for the life of me, I just cannot upload a damn thumbnail. I'm gonna have to do something creative, goddamn it. I'm gonna have to make some kind of thumbnail. It's kind of crazy. Fuck it. It is what it is. It is what it is, god damn it. Hopefully y'all had a good weekend. I don't want to hear nothing. Friday just passed. I don't want to hear nothing. You didn't find a damn thing, Shiesty. I'll drop the link for you, Shiesty. Stop playing. You didn't find no what inconsistency you found? What you doing, Miss J? Shiesty, but what inconsistency you found? I want to know. I want to know what you talking about. Inconsistency. Shiesty. Shiesty. The husband's fingerprints was found on a murder weapon because he took it off of his children's neck. Ah, Shiesty. Don't disappoint me like that. The husband, he used his hands to take the damn weapon off of his kid's neck. That's why his fingerprints was on there. I cannot believe my ears. Shiesty, what are you saying? Shiesty, what are you saying? They also found his fingerprints in the house. It's his house. Oh, hell nah. Hell nah. What is going... Hell nah. Hell nah. What's going on with my camera? Well, why he touched it... All right, there we go. All right. The reason why he took it because he was trying to, he came home. Imagine you come home, you see something wrap around your kid's neck. You gonna take it off of him. What? There we go. This thing acting up. You gonna take it off their neck. I can't believe my eyes. I can't believe what I'm reading from Shiesty Bum. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Yeah. Shiesty, she cut her neck. She cut her neck and her goddamn. She cut her neck and her two wrists. Ain't no way. I wasn't gonna do a show on it today because I was gonna wait for the verdict to come out. Hopefully the verdict come out. Don't make me pull out the. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Shiesty. So you saying that somehow he mastermind. You believe the husband somehow mastermind her to believe that she did that? Because, she admitted it herself. She said, yes, I did it. You do understand? Shiesty, you do understand her defense team, and herself said that she did it. Also, Shiesty, that she planned the whole thing out. An hour before this whole thing happened, she was looking things up so she could figure out how she was going to do it. Now, with that part, Shiesty, if that part is true, we will have to hold him a little bit accountable as well. I would agree with that part. If he was not allowing the kids to go to the mother house, yeah, he's dumb for that. Him getting a nanny was cool and all that. However, him as a father should have absolutely 100% kept his kids away from that crazy woman. 100. So that's the only thing I can agree with. However, she did it. Even though he is at fault to not protect his kids from that crazy woman, she is the one who actually did the crazy shit. Let's not get those two things confused. We can't get those two things confused here now. Those are two separate things. You know what I'm saying? Those are two separate things, Shiesty. She done did something hella egregious. Disgusting. Ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't excuse that part. We can't forget that. Because goddamn, how in the world? Before we get into all the messy men and everything like that, like, hey, I guess, Mr. Clancy, he's a part of the messy men too, right? Because he already got him a girlfriend. He already run the marathons. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't her print. Her print was on the murder. Her print was absolutely on the weapon. You tripping on that part. Her print was absolutely on the weapon. She actually described how she used it. Now, if you watch the case, she described how she used it and everything. Maybe I shouldn't, because what I was going to do, I was going to review the whole. What? What? What are y'all talking about? What? She better not take that stand because everybody knows she crazy. She'd have took the stand with them. They would have locked up right then and there. Everybody knows she crazy. Huh? There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. She was on 10 different medications for a reason. 12, I think, something of that nature. I was going to go ahead and review Fatty calling Melanin Legacy a pick-me, but shit. It seemed like y'all want to talk about this crazy situation with a whole bunch of women supporting this lady. That is insane. I could change the damn thumbnail. Let me look, because, over here they don't actually support that. Let me go look at it right now. Dun, dun. Yeah, I think it was like 12. It was in between 10 and 12 meds. Yeah. Shit crazy. Ah, yes, I did. Thank you so much. Missing my WWS. I hope all is well. Thank you so much for holding me down, even on a off day. Thank you so much. That was much appreciated. So much love. Thank you so much for holding me down. Seriously, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You can't be serious right now. You can't look. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I think that part, Shicey, is correct. They just using the wrong. They are using the wrong case to be talking about postpartum. That's the real issue. They are using the wrong case to be talking about postpartum. That's the real problem. They should not be using this case as a way to talk about how women needs to be paid attention to. This is not the proper case for that. It's a lot of issues that get swept under the rug, and I understand you got to use a big situation to bring forward a discrepancy that you have, but this is not the right case for it. Because when you use in this case her psychosis, no, most people are not going to be able to get past the fact that she took her own children's life. You know, so it's just not a smart thing to do. All those women in pink bringing their babies to the case and trying to act as if they going through the same thing as her. If I had a child and my ex-girlfriend or whatever's going on with her, she's out there saying, yeah, we just had our kid a year ago, and then we are gonna act like, nah, we are not gonna act like that's okay at all. That is not possible for we to act like that's okay. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
I'm Tracy. I'm coloring something for you.
You write something for me?
Coloring. Yeah, I was making a lot of pages for you.
Oh, you wrote me a lot of pages. Awesome, baby. But baby, I'm doing my show right now. Can I call you back a little bit later when the kids is awake?
Okay.
Okay, baby. Love you.
Love you.
Okay. I'll call you back later, okay?
Okay.
Okay. That was the grandbaby. The husband wouldn't even help with the kids? Nah. He was helping with the kids, just not to. Now maybe I should change the thumbnail and let me see. Maybe I could just use an older thumbnail. Let me see. Can I change the thumbnail? Maybe I should change the thumbnail. This is crazy. This is crazy to me. I thought I was going to talk about something else, but clearly we can't because Shicey Bum is tripping. Cause Shiesty is tripping. Yeah, we just go with that one. That's a simple one to go through. We'll do that one. Okay, let me change it. What should I all right. So, something definitely ain't right. It's her goddamn brain that's not right. Monday, Messy Clancy. Oh, she's just crazy. This shit crazy. I don't know what to think. I can't believe that so many. I can't believe so many people are in that is willing to have her back. That's the shit that bugging me out the most. I can't believe Shiesty Bum. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe my eyes. I cannot believe my ears. When I hear people say it, I cannot believe it. Shit is crazy. What up, Josh? This is crazy. Let me see. I don't know. I think a lot of these women are just tripping, to be honest. Let me see. I got to change this as well. Hold on. See, now y'all got me working while I'm working. Let me see. I need to change this. Hold on. I gotta change the title of the other stream too. But yeah, nah, man. I think she is 100% in the wrong. As of what we know, as the information that we have, it is no way we could say that the father had anything to do with it. That's just the facts of the situation. The fact is that she herself said, and her defense, saying that she did the damn thing. The only thing that is up in the argument is that is she's criminally responsible. That is it. Otherwise than that, hey. Otherwise than that, I don't know what we talking about then. You know what I'm saying? Like she guilty. I don't think so. You know, and shout out to the Cash App. That was a great question. That is an absolutely great question because I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure anymore. Maybe that is something that we gotta kind of like bring up or something like that. Maybe I need to put up. What up, Plot? Do people actually understand postpartum? That is a great question. Do people actually understand? That's a great question. Postpartum, do they? Because this ain't postpartum. This heifer says she had ideas and she hearing voices. That's completely different. Shout out to the Cash App. It says, for support the show. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, my man. Hey, man, thank you so much. It's very important. You know, I really appreciate it. We gotta show love to where we can. I know it's Friday. I know Friday just passed, so y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all got it. So but yeah, man, do they actually know what postpartum is? Great question. Oh man, where was I? Oh, there we go. Let me see where we at with it. So we have. Let me pull up some things. Let's pull up some things and see what the hell these people talking about. Let's pull up some things. Let's see what this lady talking about. Let's see what this lady talking about. Let's see.
Men are really upset in my comments because I made a video about Lindsay Clancy. And you know what, men? I understand. And women who are upset, I get it. Because 3 babies are dead. I understand the visceral reaction to want justice. I understand that you care. I understand that you're angry. I get that. I also understand that these men in my comments do not say a goddamn word every other day when a man annihilates his own family. Every day in the news, we hear family of 6 dead, father murder suicide killed his kids. Like, it happens at an exponential rate, but y'all do not have a iota, a finger's worth of that same energy you have for Lindsay Clancy to the men that are doing this at a daily fucking basis. So spare me your fake fucking outrage at women who are gathering together as a community to talk about our fucking mental health and the mental health of mothers and the help they should receive when they goddamn ask for it. I understand children are dead. I wish they were here. I wish Lindsay received the help she so desperately needed and wanted and begged for. So spare me with your condescending comments about shit that you have no goddamn idea about.
We have no idea? Man, I don't know. You could say that, you know.
Men are really upset in my comments because I made a video about Lindsay.
I think in reality, majority of men are understanding when they have wives. I think husbands are understanding majority of the time. I think the boyfriends that are living apart and they just baby mama, baby daddy, they might be having a struggle with this whole postpartum. They don't understand. I do see that is a huge issue with men that is a part of the red pill, the incel, the mans for the no good suckers, the ones that are part of this whole patriarchal situation that have no understanding how women actually feel. They have a real serious problem with understanding what women are actually going through and how their hormones change. They having a really difficult time grasping that a woman can actually go through these hormonal situations. You know what I'm saying? So with that, she on point. We gotta be honest about that. A lot of men are not empathizing with their women when they say they got this type of a issue going on. And also, it is something that happens to women because we did go through it, right? For the people that are the most vulnerable about these type of situations, it's actually a younger woman, right? So it's a thing. And men, you got to understand that it is a thing. That these women, a lot of women are not faking. I think when they go as far as to put in harm to their own children, we got to say a lot of the women that have those type of issues, they already had those issues. You already knew that your girl was crazy. You trying to fool us that like you didn't know she was crazy, but you knew because most, like Lindsay, she was already a little, something going on. It was already something a little going on. And the issue is that this is why Men gotta have a little bit, somewhat, somehow, some way, and understanding. When these women are attempting to give that kid to grandma, give that kid to you, that they actually need it. So if a woman is crying out that she is tired and she needs to get away from her kids, you need to figure that out and get that woman away from your kids so she can have a break. Absolutely. You gotta get that woman a break. You gotta give her some time you gotta figure it out. Y'all can't keep going with these BS talking points of the patriarchal situation of, hey, you the woman, so you take it. No, brother. If she going through some goddamn mother issues, she going through some hormonal issues. If you knew that she was crazy before, she was taking medication before, that's a problem. That's a problem. Let's see some more videos because that was just crazy. Let's check out some more. Let's see if we can find some more videos because she was somewhat right, somewhat wrong. Let's see.
Tired! So tired! I'm tired! Stupid! Freaking people! Do this dirty! Ah! Ah! Freaking tired of it! Ah! And that's how I rage.
Oh, hell no. My bad for having it on mute for the first half of it. Thank you, Bomb. Hell no. Hell no. To the nah. Ain't no way. That's different. That is different. Listen. That's different, Bob. That is a different kind of stress. That ain't no motherhood stress. I don't know what that is. That's not, that ain't really, man. Listen, I don't know if this is. One thing I don't know. I don't understand this. Where I'm from, you don't have time to do this. You better be figuring out how to get. No, we don't have time for this. Shout out to Shadow the Titan Wasp. Salute to you. Always in my thoughts. You know, I say very little. I'll say about that much. Shout out to Shadow the Titan Wasp. Thinking about you all weekend. And this is absolutely insane. Ain't no way this is possible. How can I don't understand how they are using this case to express, like, they do not understand that a good divorce lawyer is going to use this type of information. A good divorce lawyer is going to use this kind of information and say, hey, this is more reason why this woman shouldn't even be around her own children. And I don't know if this... Like, because if we're going to say that the system failed Lindsay, right? Because they put her on all these heavy medications and then put her right back around the children after she said she was going to do what to the children? Take the what, do the what? That's crazy. That's, you know, let me not use that word. That is the wrong emotion at the moment. That's what that is. Is parental stress the same for men and women? I think parental stress, yes, that is the same. But when it comes to postpartum, no, that's going to be different, right? I don't know what's the equivalent for men that go through their own hormones, because men go through their goddamn hormones too. I just don't know what they call it. There ain't no medical term for a man going through whatever hormonal changes he got going on with him when he gets stressed. I don't know what that is. Women been diagnosed. Is an understanding that, especially when it comes to giving birth, we understand that their hormones change throughout giving birth. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Conversations with MJ. Good day, Sharon. What's the 411? Well, the 411 is that we still done got a verdict. All the damn jurors, they got sent home. They ain't supposed to look at nothing. They can't read nothing. They can't watch nothing about this case whatsoever. They coming back tomorrow, and we gonna try to, and hopefully we get a verdict by then. They was in there for 10 hours trying to figure this whole thing out. But what I do know, men and women go through these two things very separately. I was talking to somebody said maybe men just have an ego problem. That is possible, but it is some men that have some goddamn hormone problem. 100%. But it ain't no fancy name for the things that men go through when they go through stress and they can't deal with it no more. They just call pussies. I do not want to say that majority of women are chemically imbalanced, but according to this case, and all the women that is in support of Lindsay Clancy, they are absolutely saying that they are imbalanced. I ain't gonna argue with them, I guess. Because a majority of the women that's in this situation, that is in support, that's wearing pink, that are in these bathrooms throwing ice, screaming. This is a mother conversation with me. That's just a mother. They are the ones that's saying they are chemically imbalanced. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. PTSD is definitely one of them. Shout out to the Cash App. He said, you know what? Women got postpartum, and for men, maybe it's called ED. They said maybe it's called ED for men. That is wild. That is funny as hell. God damn. Oh, sheesh. But I do know that this shit looks crazy. It looks wild. I'd be definitely scared and afraid if any woman that I know have young kids,
it could be me.
And they out
So
here
just here to support.
doing things like this, like them having all this support for this lady is just wild. You know what I mean? This is a lot of support. This is a lot of support. That is a lot of people out there. Shadow said it's mental and chemical. So, you know, look at this is a lot of ladies. This is a lot of ladies. There's even some men out there as well. There's some men, I guess those are the real simps, right? Well, you know what? Let me not. But this is... Yeah, that's called an incel, my friend. Man, this is alarming. This is so alarming. This is alarming on two levels, right? And so the reason why it's alarming on two levels, because we got on one end, women are feeling like they are not being heard. They are feeling that they are not being heard so much that they are willing to use this situation and say they know what she went through. They're not recognizing the ramifications that they are saying. They're not understanding the ramifications of the future of people looking at women as they want to delete their own children. This is not the case to bring up women's mental health. At the same time, I get why they're using this woman as a mental health situation, because they, like Bomb Cherry just said, they put her on so much medication. Why did the system allow her to go back home to her children? Why did the husband allow her to be alone with the children? Why? No, as far as I understand, they didn't give no unless they're gonna do it sometime, you know, unless they already went back to court, because it is early in the morning. So, but nah, they was in Boston, so I don't know. So, you know, this is just, so I think that women that are in support of this, right? Because I think another fallacy that people are trying to make it seem like that is majority of women that's in support of this. It's not majority of women support this. It's not majority of mothers supporting this. It's not majority of people that ever been through postpartum supporting this. I think that she does need help. I think she needs help. I think she did have a mental disorder, and she had a mental disorder before she was diagnosed all those medications. I think she needs to stay on those medications, but I think she needs to do all that thing, stay on the medications, get help in prison. That's where she needs to get the damn help from. You know what I'm saying? That's where she needs to get that from. She needs to get all of that mental health help from prison. The medication that she needs to get it from prison. The psychiatrist that she need to talk to, she need to get that from prison. I got you, Davey. Is your time up? I think it was Tuesday. Is your time up, sir? What day did you block Davey Shadow? Was that Tuesday or was it Monday? Or did we already past the 7 days? I don't know. So what are we saying? Just lock up. So what? All right. So let me. I got you, Davey. So what we saying? She should be in just a mental health institution, state run, for the rest of her life. Is that what we saying? I don't know. Unlikely. Yes, sir. Good day to you, my brother. Salute to you. I see you out there grinding. Keep it up. Keep grinding. Keep moving. Keep moving the shade. That's all we could do. All I could do is continuously to grind, and hopefully the people will treat Monday like it's Friday. Okay, at least Shicey's saying she needs to be in the loony bin. At least Shicey's saying she needs to be in the loony bin. So, because I was getting a little worried for Shicey. I was getting a little bit worried for Shicey. Like, God damn, Shicey. Because, this ain't the only woman that is using this psychosis. She's not the only one that's using this psychosis. Shout out to Time Watch. Don't worry. He'll get knocked off again. Yo, just recently, I believe it was a young lady in the Bronx. So right now, I know it's 2 cases. It is 2 cases for sure that women got off for using a psychosis. One of the ladies is a black woman by the name of Precious. She got off of a COVID psychosis. She done took her child's life because she had a COVID psychosis, and she just recently got set free completely. She's out there in the streets. They let her walk. No nothing. She's not even going to no psychiatric ward. Shout out to the 60 people that's here watching. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the share button. That's how we get this thing moving. That's right, like Unlikely. It's a young lady by the name of Precious. She just beat her case, taking her kid's life. And she claimed she had a COVID psychosis. And I ain't kidding about the woman's name. Her name is Precious. She's crazy. And she just got off. Joseph Amore says she believes a lot of people are going through COVID psychosis. That's interesting. Make sure y'all hitting that like and that share button. Let's get this thing moving in the proper direction. So, and then there's a lady in the Bronx. She just got off for a psychosis as well. and she did the same thing as Lindsay. Same exact thing. It's crazy. It's wild. But that's at least 2. And now if Lindsay get off, that'd be 3 in the same year. I think this is showing this is not a good look. And then all these women, these over 300 women dressed in pink, all saying that they understand. If I was a man with a shit, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Maybe psychosis is a real thing, but what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We got to be careful with these goddamn psychosis. Because how we going to say that this woman named Precious that took her child's life, she had a psychosis, she didn't know right from wrong, she didn't know what she doing, but you let her back out into the street, what she go through another one? Absolutely not. You can't. After you go through a psychosis, you should not be allowed back in the streets. Your ass need to go to a goddamn, at least the site, you need to go to Arkham, the Arkham Asylum. They need to go to the goddamn, where are all the goddamn crazy houses? They need to send their ass to the crazy house. All right, if you had a psychosis, ain't no way that we're going to just let you delete a human being and then just say, oh, I had a psychosis that let you back on the street. Hell no. I need to know. They need to have some kind of information that we know that you are psychosis walking around us normal folks. What? I don't want your psychosis ass around me, and I don't want it. I don't want it. That's just crazy. Let me stop saying the word crazy. That's just a wild thing to me. That's just a wild thing.
They should be commended because they did.
I've had it with you.
Oh my God. They should be commended they didn't
and
kill their children. She's a murderer. These women are cheering. These are man-hating women that are standing outside. This is what it's about. They think the husband did it. They're crazy. They've lost their mind.
Do you know why they're
waving for a murderer?
Do you know why the woman is in a wheelchair? Did you even notice that she's
couldn't care less. She's a murderer.
Because she jumped out the window after this happened.
So she should have. I'd have pushed her. They say that Lindsay was in psychosis. I think these women are suffering from psychosis. They've been watching too many true crime Netflix dramas. You know, this was a incredibly privileged woman, incredibly wealthy. She had a nanny, and she's still complaining that she needed help. She could not have got more help from the system that she already have received. This is a murderer who strangled her children one by one. One of the boys ran away and she chased him down and killed him.
Laurie Watkins.
What you just said was absolutely disgusting.
Thank you.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Thank you.
And you can hear that he's not. Okay?
Why? Because it's true.
You clearly don't care, so pipe down.
I don't care. And by the way, men watching this, if you have a woman sat next to you on the sofa who is defending this murderer, you got to think deeply about this. I've seen weddings.
So we need to have some empathy with.
Talk to your women and find out what are they thinking. They're defending this woman. It's
I don't think
insane.
anybody's defending what she did, but you can have empathy for what she went through and how she.
I know many women that this has happened to. No, they did not kill their children, but they also, what you failed to mention.
They should be commended because they did.
I've had it with you.
Oh my God, they
And
should be
your
commended. They
sexism
didn't
and
kill their children. She's a murderer. These women are cheering.
I'm done.
Hey, I don't know. Who side y'all on in this part? Y'all with homie or y'all with homegirl? I think some of the things he said, it don't make, Bar makes a good point. Just because she got money, that doesn't change her psychosis. It doesn't mean that she ain't any less crazy because she got some money. Right? That doesn't mean she doesn't have a psychosis just because she got money. Now, so it doesn't mean anything that she had a nanny because her ass is crazy still. Her ass has got a psychosis. You know what I mean? So you know. But at the same time, can you have empathy for somebody that's going through a psychosis? I don't know. I don't know if me personally, I cannot have empathy for a grown human being that decided to have children. No, I cannot have any empathy for somebody like that. Because for me, I don't look at it as a man and woman, father and mother thing. Because I wouldn't have any kind of empathy for a man with the same scenario. If a man said that he went through some kind of COVID psychosis, right? Because that one, a COVID psychosis don't have nothing to do with postpartum, right? This lady named Precious that got off because she had a COVID psychosis. Right? A man should be able to have a COVID psychosis as well then, right? So I would absolutely 100% no doubt would not have any shred of empathy for any man that does the same exact thing as that mother by the name of Precious that just got off. And he said he had a psychosis. Bomb Cherry, I'm pretty sure you did. You had a booty popping psychosis. What you talking about, Bomb? Shout out to PZ Ain't Gone with the $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you much. Thank you so much. It's much appreciated. Thank you. But the issue is, Bomb, is that these people that saying they went through a psychosis, they not saying they don't remember. Because Clinzy, she remembers. Precious might not have remember. I'm not sure about the Precious one. But Lindsay remember everything. She explains everything. You know what I'm saying, just me? Lindsay explained everything. She remembers. Even remember cutting her own throat and both her wrists. I don't know how she's able to do that, but she figured it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how she was able to do it, but she able to figure that out. She somehow used the goddamn exercising machine to tie it around the kids' necks and wrapped it around their neck. And then after she did that, the last one, she chased him down in the house and told him, "You're about to go meet God." And then cut her own wrist and then her neck, and then hung herself out the window until she finally fell out and did something to herself where she is paralyzed now. It's wild. We need more likes, more shares. You know what I mean? "12 pills later." What's up, Beachy? This is just wild. It's just wild. And yeah, you know, I think where people do have the argument, right? Good day. I think where people do have the argument. Good day. Welcome to the show. Bomb, Cherry, Juice. Good day. How you doing? Well, I think people do got it right, Bomb, is that she should not have been sent home to be hanging out with her goddamn children. After they gave her all that goddamn medication, 12 medications later, after she said she wanted to do something harmful to her children, the mother even testified saying that she spoke to her. Yes, they should have all made sure to keep that woman away from those kids. 100%. Shout out to the Cash App. Does the mental disorder override the decision? And that's the part for me, Next Level. I don't think so. I do not believe the mental, shout out to the Cash App. Thank you so much. I do not believe the mental disorder. Absolutely not. Bomb, let me get a microphone check. I'm not sure. There she go.
Mic
I
check.
think
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you said yes. I can hear you.
Okay.
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's your thoughts on this, Bomb? What's your thoughts on this? This is wild to me.
yeah, it's wild, but I don't. So they know what she did. Do I have feedback? Is it me? Might be me.
It might be me. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So they know that she's guilty of basically harming, deleting the children. But they was trying to say that she premeditated, like she planned it, and that's what she's saying. No, I didn't do that. Psychosis is a real thing, and it's something. So I had a episode, right? I was on just a couple of medications, but what happens is these medications start when they're in your head and they start having issues, like they like this medicine shouldn't go with this medicine, but too many different doctors was giving her medicine, right? And so what happened with me is, and I only remembered it only after people told me what I had done. But apparently I had walked outside to get the mail and I was naked. Okay. I was naked. And I walked to the mailbox, and apparently my neighbor across the street, she comes over and says, "Hey, what's going on?" And she says I was acting normal, like I was checking the mail, but I was naked. So, and I was like, so they tell me that I was naked, and I was checking the mail, and I was acting all normal. So they called 911, right? My neighbors knew me, so they called 911, and my I can't remember if the children was home or not. I don't remember everything. But what I'm saying is the medication, your brain, when they start giving you those medications, they do affect your brain, right? If you're depressed, they give you a medication so you're no longer depressed, right? I had suffered from PTSD, so I was taking something that if I have a panic attack. Then on top of that, I was getting a shot for birth control. And so they start putting us women on birth control very young. Some are girls, and when you become a woman, you get on birth control. And so that's why most women are chemically imbalanced. Our weight bucked up, right? Some women have hair growing where men are getting beards and mustaches and things. And so I'm just saying, I don't think anybody's saying she should get away with anything, but there's an underlying, with all the doctors even proven, the family was reaching out and saying, "Hey, something's wrong with her. Something's wrong with her." And her husband,
Yeah, absolutely. So when you was at the mailbox, did you ask her, "Hey, do you like my new birthday suit?" I'm sorry.
And then on top of that, let me tell you what else happened. So they rushed me to the ER. I don't remember this. And then they told my husband, "Oh, you need to take her to the hospital, which is mental hospital," right? So he took me there, which was across the street, I guess. And they tell me I signed myself in. When I woke up, like 48 hours later, I woke up, didn't even know where I was, how I got there. And then people say, "You signed yourself in." I was like, "Sign myself in where?" Yeah, so it's a real thing.
Wow. So this is an interesting question. PZ God, if she had just done that stuff she did to herself, would you say it was psychosis? Good question. So if she would have just cut her wrist and her neck and hung herself out the window till she fell out and paralyzed herself, would we still be like, yeah, it's a psychosis? What's your thoughts on that, Bomb? If the children was okay, but everything else happened, will we still call it a psychosis?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm muted. Yeah, because it's a medical term, right? Psychosis is actually something that happens with the brain. And it's unfortunate that, she harmed the kids. That is an unfortunate thing. But yeah, It's not like she intended to do it. She just did it.
But so that's the argument that is going. That's the argument that the prosecution had, right? Is that
Right.
she did an hour before she made all the right phone calls to send her husband outside.
Well,
She
well,
planned that part. Hmm.
but that's what they say, but that don't make sense, right? If he went to go get some medicine, right? And he went. He didn't say, well, yeah, she planned to get me out the house. In fact, some people tried to claim that he may have done something. They were trying to say that he may have been a part of it. But
Because and so my problem with them trying to say he did something, that means that this man is some serious type of mastermind, right? To get her on all 12 of these meds, to make her believe that she sent him to the store, come back, and in between CVS and the restaurant, he deletes the 3 children. He attempts to delete her. He cut her neck and her 2 wrists to throw her out the window, but somehow she still survives. She just comes up paralyzed. And then he comes back home to find, and try to act as if she did it. That is some mastermind level type of criminal. And for what reason, do we have to say that this is the reason why he did this to his own children and his wife?
well, if he had done that, I'm not saying he did, but he would be a family annihilated. He didn't want his family no more. She just happened to survive. Now, I don't know if that's the case or not, but it could happen, because remember when I said I don't remember, she only probably remembered what they told her she did. So like when I said I was out there naked, I don't remember me being out there naked. I just know they told me that I was out there naked. They told me
Right.
that I went to the hospital and I signed myself in. You know what I mean? That's what was told to me, and I just accepted it and say, okay, that's what I did.
So another issue is that she remembers saying certain things. Like she remembered chasing the last one down and say, "You about to meet God." This is what she told one of the psychiatrists.
Yeah, that could be. Like I remember flashes of things,
But what I'm saying is that if she remembers that, then we gotta take the husband up out of there. Like he cannot be. She
Oh, yeah.
remembers doing that. You know what I mean? She remembers doing that to the last one, and saying that, and saying those very specific words is just wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think she's accusing her husband of doing anything. So I think, but no, I remember flashes of little things, speaking to people, but I don't, and that's really truly because somebody told me. And it's like, it could be a false memory. I don't know. But hubby told me we were
Okay.
in the ER. He told me they said he need to bring me there, and my brain pieced together, and I feel like I remember a little bit of it, but not all of it. Yeah.
Hey, I remember one time I went through a drunk psychosis bomb. I was in my apartment building. I was just walking around, knocking on my neighbor's door, butt booty naked, things swinging everywhere. They was like, "Hey, Sharon, how you doing?" I was like, "Where the party at? I'm just here to express myself."
And just swinging.
Luckily, everybody knew who I was, and they knew Anya's number, so they just called like, "Hey, your husband down the hall naked again. Can you please come and get him?" So luckily, the neighbors knew who I was, and I wasn't no threat to nobody, right? So, but man, that could have went very bad. Can you imagine? But welcome to the show, Conversations with MJ. What is your thoughts on this whole thing as we gaining more information about this?
Hey, how you doing, Sharon? Hey, Bomb. I just wanted to come up and say, not with this particular story, but the situation about that plotting thing that you was talking about, maybe a husband doing it. It has happened before. I have a story for that. 8 years ago, one of my coworkers, him and his wife were both service members. They had 2 children, a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, and he ended up unaliving her and drowning the kids. And when we went to do a wellness check, the door was like, shut closed, so we had to kick it in and also call the authorities. And then we found him on the Brooklyn Bridge trying to jump. But his case in court was, he said that the wife killed the children and he killed her because, unalived the children, and he unalived her because of that. And then he said he went through a whole type of rage and psychosis. They didn't believe him. He got 24 years to life in prison. But I'm just trying to say, like, that whole plotting situation, sometimes it does happen. I just wanted to share that story.
Whew, that's real scary. PZ ain't going. I seen guys from my old unit with PTSD, psychosis, and they really don't remember a lot of shit. Damn. God damn. That's some scary shit. But
yeah, that's what really, like, psychosis is like similar to when people say they see red or they didn't see anything, like they just kind of like black out. They don't even know what their body is doing.
Supposedly.
But there's there's certain things
my
that
only problem with the Lindsay part, she remembers so much.
Yeah, that's my kind of little issue with it, that there were certain parts that she remembered and then other parts she didn't remember, especially when it came down to, well, what why did you go get this to go strangle them, and did you do it all at the same time, or did you do it at separate period of time throughout the day within an hour or so, things like that.
Yeah. And then once they bomb, and once they did the research on her phone and her search history, hey, listen, like, that man, if he did this, he is a genius on the low.
Oh, so she searched how to get out of her arm them?
Oh, well, she was searching certain things, like everything that led up on that day, she searched it up. She didn't search like how to delete anybody. But she searched up how long it's going to take for him to get to this place, how long it's going to take for him to get that place. It's like she searched up all the other things that she made, all the errands that he ran. So, man. I don't know.
Is she claiming she was in psychosis already? No, that wouldn't make sense.
Yes, and she claimed that she was already.
Yeah, you don't plan nothing in psychosis. Yeah, no.
And that's the part that's like, like, hey, this psychosis thing, I don't know about it for real. All these ladies in pink just out here just willy-nilly in support of her is just wild. Even Candace Owens is in support of her. I was shocked at that.
Really? Really?
You surprised? You shocked too?
I'm flabbergasted. I would think that she would be like one of the first people online to be like, this woman, why would you do this? How her strong take on when it comes to like thoughts on pro-life and stuff. So.
Yeah, I was shocked as well. She has an interesting take. I don't know if you are going to agree with her or not, but she does have an interesting take nonetheless.
Corinne writes, I know you're busy, but I'd love to know your thoughts on the Lindsay Clancy case in Massachusetts. I made my thoughts clear on this the moment that she was arrested, the moment that it made the news. Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty. There are a fleet of doctors who should be imprisoned for what they put her on. I regularly speak out against Big Pharma. They get away with murder all the time. And in this case, they are getting away with the murder of really her 3 children, but also completely destroyed her life. When Lindsay Clancy, in my opinion, is not guilty. She was put into an intentional psychosis when she probably just needed to give her kids away for a weekend to get better, but they constantly give you these drugs that do not make things better. And the cocktail of 10 pharmaceuticals that she was on is absolute madness. Absolute madness. Corinne writes, I know you're busy, but I'd love to know your thoughts on the Lindsay Clancy case in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I agree with her.
Wow.
Yeah, them medications, I don't think y'all taking into account the medications and how strong they are,
Mm,
what they do to you.
It's
mm.
definitely a very strong point. If she was taking 12 at the time, the side effects, like everything was all messed up. And you know, it's so funny, like this was seen through history. Wasn't they doing the same thing to women back in 1950s and 40s and stuff? The ones who were like, you know, stressed out or was going through problems and they didn't really have the words for it back then. They used to put them in you know, asylums, get them a lobotomy, or they would
Mm.
prescribe them some type of drug or something similar to like alcohol.
Yeah,
Mm.
they drug them.
That's
Lobotomy is when they go in and mess up a part of your brain.
yeah. They cut out the front part, and you just out there drooling on yourself. Peas
Mhm.
ain't going. The biggest issue is the healthcare system. They need changes too. Oh, they need charges too. I apologize. They need charges too. Damn. So y'all kind of agree with Candace on the pharmaceuticals or the doctors that prescribe to, they need to be up for charges as well, or do they need to be up for charges as well and set her free, or do they need to be up on charges with her?
Me
If
personally, oh, go ahead, Bob.
no, you got it. You go.
I was just gonna say, me personally, I think both. But I really do think that what they did to her, you know, did not help the situation at all. It made it 10 times worse. Because if she was taking all that and they just like, oh well, you know, you're stressed out, you need this. Your blood pressure's high, you need this. Your estrogen is low, you need that. It's just too much. And then, you know, they like to push those new medicine on women. You notice how there's always new medicines or new pills or something that women can take for this A, B, C, D more than it is for men?
Mm.
Well, I feel like we're gonna say the medication is the reason why she did what she did. Then it's not on her; it's on the medical professionals.
Ooh.
10 drugs, that's a lot of medication. And by the way, we're gonna have a whole lot of half skinny people walking around in the world half blind because why COVID and those things now got motherfuckers being blind in the world. What is called why
Dang.
COVID, and what's that other one? The one that got everybody losing weight.
Ozempic.
Oh, Ozempic.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fat, but I'm gonna be able to see out of both my eyes.
Yeah, they are going blind.
Thought they going blind. That's crazy. But,
Yeah.
Man, that's a very interesting take. So MJ, I got Bomb say. Bomb is saying that she believed that she possibly went through this psychosis from what the information that Bomb got right now. And let me ask Bomb first. Bomb, if she was under the psychosis, you think they should have her not guilty? Is your position?
Yes.
Whoa.
Not guilty
And
by, you know how they say not guilty by what is it called? Insanity?
By insanity, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how people get found not guilty. And then they have to go to a hospital. And as soon as they're better, then that's when they could get released.
Okay, so now my question is, okay, so instead of jail, you're saying she need to go to the psychiatric ward. And so now, with her going to an asylum, how long should she be in this asylum?
I don't think they have asylums no more. That's the problem, right? We got a lot of mentally ill people out in the world along with us. But she'll be in there until the doctors have verified that she is, you know, not having psychosis anymore. And yeah, that's when you get out of those.
So you don't really actually have a time frame on it.
Yeah, there's no time frame. That's not how
Do you have a minimum time that she needs to spend there?
No.
Okay.
That's not
So
how
it
they
could
do
be
it.
anywhere. It could be anywhere from 1 day to she die, pretty much.
Yeah, and some people
Hmm.
have done that, right? They committed the crime, they got found not guilty due to insanity or whatever, and then they don't get no jail at all because they're better now, right? They're no longer on the medicines or the drugs that caused them to do whatever they did.
That'd be interesting. I like. Okay, it's very consistent. MJ, your thoughts on if the medicine did put her in a psychosis, right? The way how Candace Owens is saying it. Yeah, they purposely put her to a psychosis for what Candace is saying, which is wild. But all right, so let's say she under those 10 to 12 medications, she went under the psychosis. You are saying what, MJ? Is she guilty or not guilty if the medicine can prove she was the reason why she went under psychosis?
Well, if the medicine can prove that she was under the psychosis at the time, and we can find out, like, I guess they already put out that she had 12 medications at the time of when she did this, then yeah, then she shouldn't be held like guilty as in murder. I will definitely say she do need to go to a psychiatric ward, and you know, she's gonna need constant help, you know, and constant therapy, you know, and she has to get weaned off those medications as well, you know. This is not going to just be a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year thing, because she also tried to hurt herself. So she's not only just you know, a harm to others, she is a harm of herself. So if we're basing it on we want to preserve life, I mean, it's unfortunate we couldn't preserve those babies' lives. You know, is her life now not worth trying to preserve?
Okay. And so, and what's the minimum you would say she needs to be in this psychiatric ward?
Oh, I wouldn't have a minimum. It depends on her evaluation and how well she's doing, and that she understand what happened and dealing with the pain, the anger, the guilt, and everything that's going to come with it. You know, I think that if anything, she will still have to get like probably lifetime therapy over it.
Somebody saying that it was only 4 meds. The 13 prescriptions were for different doses. I don't know what that actually means. Did she get prescribed 13 different medications?
Yes, if she got different doses, then that's different medication.
Right. That's the part that I didn't understand what he was writing right there.
And
I was trying to,
that's even worse if, let's say, this week they gave me this dose, and then next week they said, oh, we're going to up it. Now they're giving me a bigger dose. That's worse than them giving me a different medicine. But they just upping the dosage. They don't, let me tell you, these people play guessing games. They start you off wherever they want to start you, and then they start upping you. And the reason they upping you because what they gave you didn't work, and instead of them, you know, then they just, it's all a guessing game.
Yeah. Did this make you feel better? It did? Okay, so we're gonna up the doses on this.
Yeah, they do that because they love pushing pills on people. I wanted to know about her search engines. Was that like a long time ago, or was that around the time this incident happened as well?
It was around the time the incident happened.
Okay. Then that's a problem.
Yeah, I think that was a real serious problem. I think the prosecution, I don't know if you've seen it yet, MJ. I think the prosecution, they didn't do so good supposedly throughout the trial. But they closing arguments was gorgeous. Yeah, they put it all together in closing arguments, like, you know, and the defense, they didn't do such a good job with their closing arguments at all. They did a good job in the trial for even sparking up the possibility of the debate about this whole situation. But in closing arguments, ooh, they did horrible.
So what was the prosecutor's closing argument? Was it that she did this out of spite? And did they lead it towards like what was going on with the engine searches in regards of her husband and how long it takes him to get to locations and things of that sort? Was that their closing statement?
Yeah, so the prosecution, they put together at the end of it, in the closing argument, they put together a timeline on everything that Lindsay was doing that ended up to doing what she knew was the wrong thing to do. They put it together perfectly, like, hey, this is why she did this is why she researched this is why she looked up this medicine versus that medicine. This is why she then called him later and said, this one was, I need something different. She made sure she had enough time to do all the things that she wanted to do to get rid of those children. And they put it together.
Did they ever?
I think that's full of crap, right? Because, right now, if I want to go to Walgreens, right, go pick up my medicine, it automatically tells me, how far away the Walgreens is. So let's say we decided he going to pick up dinner. He going to pick up some medicine for us. Where he got to go, on my phone automatically calculates that. So unless she put how long does it take for her to go here so I can do this, how they going to put together that's what she looked up so she could do?
Yeah, that.
You know what I mean?
That's pretty much what she looked up. Like, how long is it going to take for him to go to here, and then how long is it going to take for him to get to there and to get back? Because she needed whatever time she needed. I believe it wound up being like an hour and 20 minutes, like, or something like that.
Well,
it took him to do the errands. Like, she pinpointed it. Like, the way how the prosecution put it, it's like she pinpointed every second that he was going to be outside that house.
Okay.
And she did that on purpose so she could have the time to go do what she needed to do. So they did a good job on representing that in their closing arguments. I give them that.
Did they ever bring up why family was involved, or was family ever contacted? Did she notify anybody else about what she was going through, and maybe they could assist her, or she didn't have family like that, or either did he?
I do believe the mother testified, the grandmother, she testified, and she do remember Lindsay saying that she had thoughts of harming the kids.
Yeah, even the husband knew. Like everybody knew. Even the doctors knew. They testified that yes, I did get a call from her, but due to money and insurance and stuff like that, they didn't reach back and do anything about it. So they all those doctors said yes, she was in psychosis. They was agreeing that, and they act when her lawyer said, well, why didn't you help? They were just basically saying they did what they could with what they got.
And this is why so many women feel justified with wearing the pink and saying that I believe her and that we need help, and now they throwing ice in the bathtub and saying they getting mistreated. Like, man, I think it's just such a strong, slippery slope, this whole conversation, because they are tying it. People are forgetting, these women are forgetting that they are tying it to 3 people dying, 3 children dying. One of them as young as 8 months. Like, that's a goddamn problem. 5, 3, and 8 months. That's a problem. You can't attach yourself to those type of arguments, in my opinion. This is not the argument to attach yourself to.
Yeah, these are exactly the arguments, because we know that women don't usually do something like that, especially, so that's why the postpartum comes up, because she just had a baby. So these are the things that we're saying. Women not getting help for these things, and the help that they're giving is just drugs, and she still got to be there with them children, taking care of them while she's in this distress. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what you mean on this one, Bon.
Yeah,
this one's difficult for me to understand, because let me read this real. Peas ain't gone. We had a guy delete his wife when we retrograded back to the streets after OIF, and I really think he wasn't completely in control of himself. Psychosis is real. What you think about that, Bon? Was he in psychosis when he did that?
Yeah, well, men could be in psychosis too. We see it all the time. They'll reference it as PTSD, but psychosis and PTSD, not necessarily the same, but they can be. You got PTSD that knocks you into some psychosis where you can't think straight, and but
He just gave you the abbreviation with the OIF was, just in case nobody knew what it was.
So, man, I don't know about this psychosis thing, Bomb. I ain't gonna lie. I think people that went to war, they go through real PTSD for real. And I know they be heavily medicated. I know a few war veterans that I knew, they heavily drank. They heavily fell down the goddamn stairs. But
a lot of them a lot of them deleted their family. A lot of them come back. Now they delete their entire families, and they was having an episode. They don't remember it. And that's what psychosis with women could be like too, except it's hormonal and the medications, because she didn't go through war and have a flashback of somebody shooting at her and then she goes to shoot. But
right,
her body have these drugs chemically imbalanced in her brain and things. Because like, do you understand a woman going through postpartum? She harms the children. And it's because
that's the scary part, Bob.
Yeah. So it's almost like her brain is telling her to do something. And she feels like that's what she needs to do. Nobody can really understand it. They don't know why that's but that's what it is. They end up getting rid of the children. And themselves if they can.
Well, she tried to. Yeah, she tried.
Yeah.
It's something going on. It's something clearly, like they saying in the chat, the medical system is broken for sure. Like, it's something wrong with it, because this is not good. It's not a valid situation that so many men, especially the men that come back from war, they are going through psychosis as well, and then they take their own selves. There's so many women coming out, even though it gets such a slippery slope where it got women that's just like, because parenting is a frustrating thing.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like, now we don't know what part is frustrating and what part is your postpartum, because now everything is lumped up into one. Like, postpartum cannot be psychosis too.
Yeah.
Having frustrations and
It is. That's what I'm saying. It is. Once they get to the state. So there's just one story. Young Black woman has a baby, right? And she's postpartum. So she's warning everybody, hey, this baby is too much. And she's talking about harming herself and the baby. And people step in, which is a good thing. And one of her family members gets the baby, right? Like an aunt has the baby. But the aunt is tired. The aunt is tired and allows the mother to come over to help her with the baby. But the baby wasn't supposed to be with the mother, right? Because they determined she's postpartum. She needs to take her medication and do everything she needs to do before to get the child back. She don't want to take the medication, though, but she want to get high and shit. But she has a mental issue, right? So the aunt lets her come because she needs help with the baby. And then they wake up one morning and the baby is on the counter in the kitchen, decapitated. The mother ended up chopping the baby's head off. This is a true story. She's mental. Like, you know what I mean? She's mental, and she ended up getting found not guilty. because she had the postpartum. And the person who really got in trouble was the person who let her come and be around that baby, the aunt.
Mm. Damn. So my problem is I think the psychosis part is different from the postpartum part. And because I know a couple of young ladies that went through postpartum, but they ain't never thought, at least from what they told me. I don't care about what they explained to me. They never communicated that they wanted to harm anybody, especially their own child. They were just saying they really depressed, they can't move, they don't want to get up, the baby cried, they don't feel like getting up to get the milk and breastfeed. They just didn't want to do anything. They just want to stay in their bed all day. That's what the communication was to me.
Right.
Never
That's
about harming anybody.
right, because that's the psychosis coming out. Like you could be postpartum and never become psychosis, but you could be postpartum and end up in a psychosis situation. So when they depressed and everything, they don't want to move and then they already have a mental issue. Right? That's a mental issue that's going on. And so usually that's when you need to get help, because if you don't, they will end up with the psychosis. They will end up harming someone, themselves and or the child.
Do you have understanding for men that come back from war that have PTSD and attempt to do those things to their family and say they had a failure to do it to themselves? Would you have empathy for him?
Yes. I suffer from PTSD. When he goes into psychosis, we have empathy for him. We understand that he just did his whole family, and that's why it has the PTSD, which used to be called shell shock back in the day. Other terms, they came up with these terms because so many men was coming back and doing this, and they associate it with something else. They get these flashbacks, and everybody feels sorry for them.
Yeah, they used to call it shell shock syndrome, I think. Something like that.
And he gets off. He go to the mental institution until he get on his meds and he's no danger to society and himself anymore, and then he's let go.
I don't know. It's a lot for me. I ain't gonna lie. You know, it's. Hey, Bomb, I ain't never had to seeing this case, especially from this woman, right? Somebody that clearly she comes from some kind of a privileged situation where her husband had enough money to go get her a nanny and things of that nature. They live in Boston, very expensive part of Massachusetts.
So let me ask Siobhan. So, what's necessarily the issue with the situation? Is it because, like, for example, we see a lot of men out here who's unaliving their children, their spouses, or even their girlfriends or the mother of their child? Do you feel that more people might take the psychosis route, even though they might have intentionally tend to do those things? You feel like that's can increase in some way?
Yes, and I think it already has. We already got 3 cases in the same month, so that's weird already. One in the Bronx, one in Florida, and then now one in Massachusetts. So that's already weird. That's all in the same month. That's crazy. So let me stop saying the word crazy. That's a big coincidence. It concerns me with that. Also, I just feel as if being under psychosis, that is some privileged shit. I ain't never had the time or the money or the resources to go through a mental problem. It was no way I could sit my ass down talking about I'm depressed. What you gonna do about it? It seemed like it's like a goddamn luxury to be able to be depressed or go through a goddamn psychosis and get treated and all this shit. I ain't had time to be no goddamn depressed. You want to eat? You better go ahead and get out there. Better go do something. Can't run away from this shit. Where you gonna go? You're already at the worst, one of the worst places you could be in a big city. So it's like, it's difficult for me personally to understand somebody that's living in America that didn't go to war or anything like that. They're talking about they going through a psychosis because they had children.
It's not just because they had children, you know, they just had a child and that may have triggered it. But yes, postpartum is a chemical imbalance. That's what I'm saying. It's an imbalance in their brain. So it's not just that they have a baby and they're tired, but it's more than that. And so
Yeah, and
then
I do. And so, like, the problem is that I understand the postpartum part. Like I said before, one of my friends, she went through postpartum, and I said, "Hey, leave the baby here for as long as you need." And she left the baby with me, brand new baby, about 2 days old.
Right.
And I took care of that goddamn baby for however long it was.
So you helped
Like
her.
that's my.
You helped her make sure that baby was okay. You probably just, you know, like that
Right.
baby was in
Right.
danger. Could have been in danger.
But even through that, the baby was never endangered. She was just highly. She didn't have no psychosis. Like she didn't think about harming anybody. So you know that's the difference with the two situations. You know, so I gotta respect that this lady, she went through a situation. You know, Lindsay, she has an idea of hurting somebody, right? Her own children. So that makes it make the situation 100% different, right? So, but it's just, I think it's just a very slippery slope that these women are in support of, and they are in support of the wrong message. Well, they are expressing the message in the wrong way, because women's mental health is important. Postpartum mental health is highly important. And I don't want to minimize that whatsoever. But I think using this case, it's hard for anybody to really look at this thing without looking at the children being taken away. Imperious as such of
That's
valor.
what makes it so important, because the kids, see, because we knowing that postpartum doesn't just affect the woman, but now we got kids that are no longer here due to postpartum. And that's why this is a very great case for this. So we know
Right,
now.
but I think it, and
I think sometimes it's too hard. We try to separate too many situations, and I understand why. Like, because when I asked you before, do you think people are going to take advantage of it? Of course, right? But I think that don't limit it just to the daily life of being a mother or the daily life of being a wife. And I think that that's a lot where people's coming from. Like, oh, she has all these stressors for doing things that other women do, and they don't have that much of a problem with it, or they never took this route. And we're not a monolith. We're not the same. You know, some women are more mentally strong and others are not. And that's why I feel like, you know, we just only want to just focus it on, hey, she had kids and she didn't want to deal with it, and that's why she did it. Not the fact that she was going through a medical imbalance or a chemical imbalance in her body, and this is the result of her having that.
Right.
And Imperious aspect of valor. Justice for Chris Benoit. It's a chemical imbalance. That's an interesting one, because Chris Benoit is somebody that did the same exact thing, and nobody had no sympathy or empathy for him. And his version of it is that, you know, he probably most likely has CTE because of all the wrestling and getting hit over the head with chairs and all the situations that he went through. So, and then clearly it's been shown that things like CTE or those type of brain injuries, they cause some violent acts within men. And there's a bunch of men in the NFL especially, they wind up either going to jail or dying because of this CTE disease as well. So yeah, That is an interesting point, Chris Benoit. Nobody,
Right.
you know,
But
it's
then
an
they
interesting
find
point.
so they can't find out if his issue is an issue until after he died and they test his brain, right? But I
Mm.
think they now know that CTE does cause people to do what they do.
Act
So I
violent.
think now, yeah, so now they act violent, they harm others and themselves afterwards. They related that now. And years ago they didn't, but now they do.
Yeah, but that give people like, before I pass it to Love, what was his name that played for the Patriots again in Boston, man? Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
That gives him an excuse that he was going through a psychosis because he was wilding.
Yeah. Well, it's not as simple as them just saying I went through a psychosis. That doctor's backing. You can't just say I just had a baby and it's postpartum. No, they gotta have doctors backing.
Well, he was definitely heavily medicated, and he definitely had brain problems. He definitely had a few concussions in his life. So
Yeah.
it lines up for certain people, like especially the NFL situations, the ones that did unalive people and wound up unaliving themselves and stuff like that. It does line up with this whole, possible psychosis thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It kind of line up with it, especially now that they have a COVID psychosis. Like that's wild to me, but it happened. Welcome to the show. Love, how you doing today? Good day. What is your thoughts?
Good day, good day. Rest in peace to those children. I listened to all sides, and everything is plausible. But I'm also the type of person to where it's like, okay, can we really also consider? I know it's extreme, but it also may be the case that after some point, some mothers just don't want to be mothers anymore. I get the postpartum, and I also get psychosis, which is very plausible. But I believe sometimes these mothers just don't want to be mothers anymore after a while. I've seen TikTok reels of women crying, saying they regret being a mother. If they had it any other way, they wouldn't have kids. I think about Casey Anthony, who killed her 2-year-old daughter. She was out there partying while everybody was searching for her daughter. I think about Andrea Yates, who drowned all 5 of her kids. Susan Smith, who drowned her 2 kids by backing a car up into the lake. I think so. I just think sometimes that some of these mothers at a certain point just don't want to be mothers anymore. And I know that's a harsh thing to say, but I think those are incidents where they just don't want to be anymore for whatever reason. They just don't. And, the women that are supporting them, some of them have gone through postpartum. Some of them probably had those feelings where if I can reverse the hands of time, I wouldn't have to deal with that. That's also something to consider heavenly. I know it's extreme, but that is something to consider.
I don't think it's extreme. I just think that there will be evidence. So some of the women that you mentioned, right, back in their car with their kids into the ocean and things, those women were going through postpartum. They didn't know that's what it was called back then. They didn't understand it, but those were women going through issues, psychosis. They didn't just not want to be a parent because there was family members that they could have took them kids to. So, but there are lots of women who are harming their children. They don't want to be parents. And they're not able to use postpartum or psychosis because they have no doctor backing up them medically for that. And they usually end up harming their children and trying to bury them and different things that they do. So yes, we know that there are women who don't want to be parents, but this woman in particular had a husband right there. He would have known if she didn't want to be a mother. Her family was heavily involved. She was going to the therapist and everywhere getting this medication for months. So therefore she was seeking the help. So I do understand what you're saying. I agree with you that there's women who don't want to be parents, but in this case, that's not where it fell.
So if all of that is true, do we have a lawsuit against the therapists and the pharmaceutical companies that selling the medicine, and for the therapist who wasn't proactive, so to speak, in getting her the help that she needs? Because in the event she's not guilty, she's going to walk free, and there might be a countersuit against the therapist and against the pharmaceutical company that prescribed her this medicine because of the side effects that it had. And if I'm not mistaken, they raised over $1 million for this woman. So if she's not guilty, she's going to walk out a millionaire, and there's going to be a counter lawsuit.
I think they're already suing. I think the husband is already suing the doctors and hospitals and things already. If I'm correct, that's what I heard. And yes, her lawyer even presented that in the case, that when they had the professionals on the stand, and they admitted to diagnosing her, knowing that she was going through these problems, she was reaching out to them. And so, in this is not a woman who just decided, hey, I don't want to be a mother today. She was reaching out for help. She was on medications. So, but I do understand what you're saying. There are some women, there are some people, they got some I don't want to use the word, but they shouldn't be parents. How about that? They shouldn't be parents.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a hard one. This is a hard one because she did everything she could on paper to, hey, I'm having a problem here. I need help. And people they weren't urgent with it.
Yeah, that's a great word, urgent. It wasn't urgent enough.
There wasn't a level of urgency where it should be to make sure that she gets the help that she needs. If it was that extreme to the point where, okay, we need to put some sort of order of protection in for the kids. Maybe the kids need to go over to the grandparents' house, get temporary custody until she gets herself together. I just think it was just so many things that could have been done to prevent this from taking place.
Yeah, like for instance, her husband, right, who lived with her, he didn't have to go and get nothing, right? He could have had her go grab whatever is needed. If he knew that she was in the state she was in, which he did know. He admits that he knew. So he didn't see any sign at all.
And that's another question too. Like, he's there,
right?
And I know sometimes people can be together for years and really don't know what's going on with the other person. It's like, well, I never saw any signs. I didn't pay any attention, so I just kept doing what I was doing. But he didn't see anything. He didn't notice a change in the mood. Nothing.
Right.
What I mean, was she that secretive, or was you that,
Nah, he wanted that break. He wanted that break. He left, and from my understanding, to go get the food and to go grab that medicine shouldn't have taken him no hour. And that's what people was thinking, that he had something to do with it. Because they saying that the one store was only like 15 minutes away, back and forth. That would have been 30 minutes, right? And then to get the food. And they saying that it shouldn't have taken him that long. But I'm not saying, I don't know. But
yeah,
if she was in psychosis, he had to see that, or maybe he just didn't want to see it.
Didn't want to see it, and is this the first time, where Again, because these things can happen and people just don't pay attention to it. Did he see it and just thought that, oh, she's just having a bad day, nothing more, nothing less, and just go about my business?
Mm.
I think,
And it is definitely a problem
yeah,
that women are not being taken seriously. Right? You know, we had plenty of these conversations on the show about how women are not taken seriously when they have their issues. If they say they don't want to cook it clean because it feels like slavery, men be having an issue with that. Women say they have postpartum. You know, they're going to have an issue with that, especially that it's going to be her third child, right? So a lot of people not really understanding why it took so long, right? It took to the third child for her to go through the psychosis. It's so much
Because they're trying to connect.
information that,
They're
yeah.
trying to
Go ahead,
connect
Bob.
with the child. You know, she could go. Well, postpartum is usually dealing with a kid, but you could go through serious depression without having a baby, which is a chemical
Hmm.
imbalance. Like I think people think being tired is depressed. Depression is a real
Mm,
chemical imbalance. That's why they give you medicine to
mm,
make you feel better, right? They give you medicine to
hmm,
make you feel better, to try to balance your brain out. So I suffer from depression, right? I'm not
mm,
I'm a happy person, you know, I'm happy, but I suffer from depression. It kind of runs through in my family. So it's nothing
mm.
that I could be happy, I could go and do some things, but in it's almost like the blues. They used to call it the blues. You know, people
Mm. Yeah,
they
very good
feel the
point. Hmm.
blues, yeah. That's what they called it back then. But yeah.
Now the blues is a new kind of drug that's tearing up the nation as well, right? But what why I guess mental health issues is just difficult for people to really respect and understand in America. Like it's something going on. I don't know if it's the food, the water, social media. I don't know what it is,
All
but
of that.
America definitely have a mental health situation going on.
Yeah, think
all
about
of
it.
all of that, all
Say
of
it
it,
again.
especially all of it, especially after COVID. Especially after COVID, there were so many stories of femicide, matricide, suicide. It was so many of these things that was going on because of what took place. People lost their jobs, people lost their homes, people lost families and couldn't even go to the funeral. People couldn't even, see their loved ones, in their final stages. People were removed from doing basic human stuff. It went unnoticed. Everybody went back to work as if nothing happened, and the mental health from that was never addressed. Now we have the issue with the food. You can't even eat now because salmonella, E. coli, everything is being returned. Even the IV that's used, it has shards of glass. So now that had people on edge. Not to mention gas is up, rent, everything is up, but your morale. So, people are going to drugs, people are going to alcohol, people are going to so many different things to get the edge off. And all the doctors are doing is, I'm gonna write you a drug. I'm gonna write you a drug. I'm gonna write you a drug. Take this drug to take that drug. Take that drug to take that drug. So we've got a whole bunch of zombies out here who, if they don't take that medication, they're gonna snap on people. You just had somebody last week in Montana killed their whole entire family and set the house on fire and killed themselves after Sunday dinner. Can you imagine?
I cannot. Yeah, but I did see that case as well. Yep, just happened in Montana. Hmm.
And that
And that
happens
just
all the
happened as
time.
well.
Yeah, but it happens all the time. It was happening before COVID. It's just that because of COVID and everybody was sitting down, we started paying attention and noticing what was going on, right? Because people had to stay somewhere, and they were staying with people they so-called didn't like to be around, you know. They could live with each other as long as they was all moving around, but now everybody had to sit in place. But I agree with you. You know, but depression is not just that you sad or that you mad. That's something else.
Is a complete but people don't take it serious enough though. That's for sure. And we learned that on these YouTube spaces, and just people in general, they are not taking it serious. And the main reason why I think people are not taking it serious because it's so difficult to prove, and so many people that are attempting to do nefarious things, they use that as an excuse. And so like this whole mental health issue thing, it got a strange stigma upon it because people try to use it as a way to get around doing, you know, some horrible things.
Yeah, but I don't think they could just. I think when they go to court, they just can't claim anything without any proof, you know. So I could claim that I did this because I was depressed, or you know, but then I gotta prove it. And
you gotta prove that you're crazy.
Right. You gotta prove that
you gotta prove that you 5150.
Yeah, you gotta prove that. You gotta prove you 5150.
Yeah.
A doctor gotta come in and say, yeah, when she came here, she wasn't just tired and you know what I mean? But yeah, we had to put her on medication. We diagnosed her. You gotta have an actual diagnosis. You can't just say
And this is the reason why I put her on this medication, because this medication can help her with this symptom that I recognize that she or he have, you know, like it's supposed to be some kind of track record. And also that's probably the reason why they're going to sue, you know, whatever doctors that gave her all these goddamn pills in the first place. Because it gotta be some kind of misdiagnosis that he or she gave to this Lindsay. Like, that's ridiculous. 12 medications?
Yeah, you know there's a medication out there that will make you self-harm and harm others. Remember when I said
so that's what makes Candace Owens that's what makes Candace Owens claim a little interesting, that she's blaming Big Pharma. She's not necessarily taking away that she physically did the situation, but she's taking away the fact that she wasn't in her right mind, and those medications put her into this weird psychosis, and that's what happened. So, you know, that's the not guilty part that is very difficult. It's a very difficult pill for a lot of people to swallow, because we all know she physically did it.
Right.
And it's all about the brain functionality part. That's the hard part. You know?
So remember I said I went through psychosis. I was on a medicine called Neurontin. If y'all go look it up, it's still out here. Neurontin had a what they call it, a class action suit, because Neurontin had people self-deleting themselves in others. The actual medicine is causing this. So it's a medicine that messes with your brain, and then you may end up getting rid of yourself. So they have a couple of medications that is known for that. And they still prescribe it. And what do they care, right? Somebody may sue and they give them millions of dollars, but in the meantime they're getting billions of dollars in, right? They're getting billions of dollars in, and they're gonna pay out a few millions of dollars for what that drug has done.
Right.
I couldn't even get on the suit. You know why? Because I didn't delete myself. I didn't actually delete myself, but we can prove that I had to go to the hospital. I had the psychosis. Like, I literally attempted to harm myself. I don't remember none of that.
So they said your ass was crazy, but you ain't all the way crazy, because if you was all the way crazy, then you'd have, you know.
Well, they
that's
said
pretty
that,
much what they saying.
Yeah, because of my neighbor caught me out there naked, and I had already taken apparently lots of medicine, and the medicine wasn't the type that would have self-deleted me.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it's called.
crazy. I mean, let me stop using that word crazy. I gotta change my vocabulary. I can't keep using that word
And so
with,
because that's a
so
that
with
word is a
all
slippery slope. I gotta use a different word. Go ahead, love.
with all of this, where do we draw the line as a society between someone who is going through severe mental illness and someone who just evil? Because the two kind of intertwine with each other, right? We'll say
Mm-hmm.
mental illness, they got a mental illness. But then on
Mm-hmm.
the other hand, it's like, is it really mental illness, or are these people just playing evil and using mental illness as an excuse? Because mental illness, I'm not just saying with this particular case, mental illness is always the default. Are they mental? They're mental. Something is wrong with them. Where in fact, in some cases, folks just evil. Folks
Mm.
just evil. And to me, as a society, we know that, but we never want to say that. Like, no, something wrong with them. So, cause you can't possibly do that. And I'm sitting back telling you, oh yes, they can. Oh yes, they can.
Mm.
Oh yes, they can. So I think, as a society, where do we draw that line? Because some folks just evil.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess you gotta be a Christian to be talking about the word evil. I mean, people
Yeah.
do some terrible things. I guess we could use the word terrible things, but mental illness is not the same thing. And that's what's wrong with
Hmm.
the country, right? We won't understand that. Like if you got a cold, you sick.
Right.
And this other person though ain't sick, and they can harm somebody. And so that mental illness is an illness. It's actually
So you wouldn't consider Lindsay Clancy as evil?
no. But it
Mm.
not if the medication and her thought is the reason for what she did.
Mm.
She wouldn't have done it. No, she wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for this medication that had her do this. No, she wouldn't be evil,
Mm.
right?
Okay. I hear you.
I hear you.
Are we saying just because
Yeah.
somebody died, and you caused it, that you evil? Because then we don't believe in accidents. If I was driving a car and somebody died in front of me, and I hit them, and they died, am I evil?
No, no,
No.
no.
So
No, but I was saying, as a society, where do we draw the line where
yeah.
someone is going through mental illness? And I say evil for the sake of conversation. I'm not religious. Like, where do we draw the line between someone having a mental problem and someone knowing full and well what they're doing and using mental illness as a proxy to get away with what they're
Mm.
doing? That's what I'm saying. Where do we draw that line?
Yeah. Because some people would try to use like the alcohol, weed, and all these other type of drugs, and say like what Bomb said with the somebody was to go ahead and drink, get behind the wheel, and unalive somebody. Nobody's gonna blame the alcohol industry, right? Because you wasn't prescribed alcohol. Nobody said you didn't go to the doctor and doctor said, "Hey, listen, you need to drink this amount of shots so this way you could get through your day." No, you prescribed your goddamn self as much alcohol or weed or whatever it is that you're taking. So and it is men that are trying to use that as a excuse and say, "Hey, we don't blame the alcohol company." Before drunk driving and something horrible happened. Like, that is not the same. So we got to have these clear lines and distinctions so people can understand. She was prescribed something, and what it seems as if, man, two things are true, that those pills, that medicine made her turn into a goddamn psychosis. And also that she did take the lives of some 3 human beings that she gave birth to. And that also cannot be just swept under the rug neither. Like she should not be out in the public, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But I know the lady that had the COVID psychosis, she's out in the public. So that's another thing that's scary to me. How you go through a psychosis and now who deemed that you was okay?
I don't know about the COVID one. I guess COVID is causing a lot of people issues, but I don't know about that one. But no, no, the person who take the drugs, right? The drugs like marijuana or anything like that, and they end up harming somebody or behind the wheel after they took them drugs, that's their fault, right? We supposed to be responsible and know that, hey, first of all, alcohol slows your response and everything, right? So they're responsible. But we're talking about legal medicine, right? We're talking about even though they're drugs, like you take your hot. Okay, let's think about this. Let's say a guy or a woman has diabetes, and while they're driving, their sugar go really low, and bam, they have an accident because they and that happens, right? Or an elderly person forget where they're going, right? In that instant, are they at fault if they kill someone? Because it happens a lot, and they have to. We know that they took a life, right? A life has been gone, but does that necessarily mean these people go to jail for what they've done? His blood sugar went low while he was driving, which means his mental, because that's what happens when your sugar either spike or go too low. You can't even think. You forget where you at. You forget. You can forget. And a life is taken. Now I'm not saying that this woman, because I don't know if she had psychosis or not, but that's what they're saying, right? And if you're saying that there's proof where she did some investigative work, she looked up. But I'm saying, hey, they'll determine the jury will determine what you're gonna get. But
I think I found that here's the case of Precious. I don't know if it's gonna say a lot, but this is
tears filled the courtroom as the mother who admitted to killing her baby daughter was found not guilty by reason of insanity following a 2-day bench trial.
As to count 1, aggravated manslaughter, the defendant is not guilty by reason of insanity. As to count 2, attempted murder in the first degree, the defendant is not guilty by reason of insanity. And as to count 3, attempted murder in the first degree, the defendant is not guilty by reason of insanity.
Moments after learning she would not be convicted, Precious Bland spoke briefly outside the courtroom.
God is good. This doesn't bring back my daughter. I'm thankful. I love my children.
State prosecutors tried to prove that this mother of 6 killed her 15-month-old because she told investigators her husband was cheating.
The voices and the COVID psychosis is a fabrication and an embellished story.
The judge didn't buy it.
That theory doesn't make sense to me, that she decided to do all the things that she did, going to all the neighbors, calling her family members, putting the kids in the water, all of it because she was angry due to some perceived infidelity.
Her lawyers argued Bland was overcome by the voices in her head and had a COVID-induced psychotic break.
Satan is a deceiver.
There's so much that we don't know about COVID, and this was, one of the first cases in the country to go to trial on COVID in the defense to murder.
Bland spent 3.5 years behind bars before being released about a year ago. Now, after a judge cleared her of criminal responsibility in her daughter's death, she says she's focused on moving forward.
Just ready to get my life back together, my husband and my children, and just move forward.
Damn.
Hell nah, Bomb. Hell nah.
I see that. So now, according to the National Institution of Health, there is a comprehensive review going on about this psychosis. Like they're saying that COVID-19 can rarely trigger it, but there are some common symptoms: hallucinations, delusions, paranoia, disorganized behavior, insomnia. The possible cause is, brain inflammation, direct viral impact, severe stress, side effects of medicine to treat severe COVID-19. So, and the NIH is doing some comprehensive review on it. But that's wild. She said she stabbed her daughter because her husband was cheating.
I don't think she
Crazy.
said that. That's what they said. She did
Shit.
to that, right? But yeah, I
Hey,
see that
man,
it's an actual thing. They say that it has a new onset psychosis.
Yeah, it's a new onset that
that
they're
shit
trying
is
to
wild.
do a review on. And if they come to this conclusion, because of course this is the first major case,
Right.
now the others they're going to have to research. There are some people that are saying after having COVID, they did feel distressed. They did feel a little different than usual, mentally. So this is very, very interesting, which is why for
Yo,
Lindsay,
that shit is
Lindsay,
wild,
and that's
man.
why we go back to Lindsay. Lindsay might just walk. Not, I mean, not because of like this for COVID, but she might walk because of the medication, the side effects of the medication, psychosis. So,
Right,
hey,
man. But the scary part to me about it is that like she not like this the woman from Miami. She free. It's like I thought like what Bomb said earlier, right? Was that you got off for insanity, so now you gotta go to a mental health institution. No, that woman, her name Precious Bland. Her ass is completely home. Back with her cheating ass husband again too. So I don't know. He better.
Yeah, because she don't have the psychosis no more. Because so that's why she released. And that's how they do it. That's how they've been doing it forever. If you get found out,
So that means she did 3 years, Bomb.
yeah.
Oh hell no.
And that was just
Hell
because
no.
she couldn't afford bail because she wouldn't have did that.
Right.
Right.
but see, here's the concern. Here's the concern with both cases. The woman out of Florida is free. She back home with her husband and her 5 kids. Now, me personally, I'm
Mhm.
scared for the 5 kids because what if the psychosis comes back again and it's another child that's home?
Right.
When I think about Lindsay walk away free. Lindsay is still young. She can have more kids. What if that
Oh
psychosis
hell.
comes again? See, this is where it's like, even when it comes to medicine and pharmaceuticals, they need to do a better job with the level of urgency because if we're going to mistry people, hung jury, a reason of insanity, we're going to let these people walk free. If these people have families and have children, what protective measures are going to be there for the children? Because again, children's lives are at risk.
America don't care about no kids. I don't know why we acting like we do. Right? Yeah. As long as she don't have no abortion, if she gets pregnant again, then America don't care. Right? Our healthcare system is all messed up. They don't care about none of that.
And not only that, another scary thing is that like this psychosis thing, it don't matter what race you are, clearly, right? Because this lady is a black woman from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it don't got nothing to do with race at this point.
Right.
Because this is crazy as well. Judge finds NYC mom with postpartum psychosis not guilty for unaliving her 2 young kids. and they put her side by side with Lindsay, of course. This just happened. This is up in the Bronx.
Oh, I'm about
That
to-
happened up in the Bronx.
Isn't this the one that drowned her kids in the beach? No. That was 2 years ago with a lady, the minivan, the minivan in the beach in the water with her kids.
So like so this is like a real thing. Like this is what I'm saying. Like this is 3 cases in a row.
Yeah,
That's the part that's kind of scary to me.
It has to do with, there's a lot going on in our environment that causing a lot of illnesses, mental illnesses, brain. So with the I read on the COVID-19 thing, it says that that you got brain swelling, a brain inflammation, which could be, but they have to prove that you had the COVID. So it's not like I could just say, killed my husband today and be like, I got COVID. You got to have some backing, some medical backing.
And then you're gonna have to have the brain swelling.
Right.
As well, I guess.
You got to do the CAT scan and a couple of other tests on top of that.
That shit is wild, man.
The history of
This
COVID.
stuff is wild.
How long did they have
Yeah.
COVID? Did they take the vaccinations? Like, there's so much things to consider to make a case like that.
Well, I don't know if because I didn't take no vaccination and they can't make me. And so if I catch it again and I harm someone, they can't use that I didn't get the vaccination against me. They may try.
They won't be able to do that now. No, because you don't have to do it. But I do remember back when it was real bad. A lot of employers were threatening to basically fire people if you didn't take the vaccination. Because I know with my former employer, we had until I think it was January 1st, 2022. If you didn't take that vaccination, you were going to lose your job. You're going to lose your job. So people, I took it because I had a mother to take care of, I had a household to take care of, so I need a job. So afterwards, like maybe a couple of months later, it's not mandatory again.
Right. Because it's unconstitutional. That's why. But
So yeah, this is some very prevalent times that we're living in. Lindsay got a 50-50% chance of walking. She got 50-50. Like the odds is partly in her favor. I do believe that her and the lady from Miami should still be in jail. They got a psych ward in the prison, stay there. And I think Lindsay here, 3 consecutive life terms, 1 for each child that was lost, and psych ward, stay in there. You don't need to be out here walking in these streets because psychosis may happen again. You might have more kids, and we might go through this again.
We might go through this because I think the only person who really going through it is her and her family, right? She gonna always suffer if she didn't purposely do this, then she gonna be suffering because based on what she has done. And so psychosis,
I disagree.
Any of us could go through psychosis, right?
I disagree with that, Bomb, because I think it's a possibility. I'm not sure, of course, right? It's just me. She's gonna always have the ability to say it wasn't me, it was the medicine that did that. I ain't do that.
But no, she can say that she's not responsible, but everybody knows that she did it. You know what I mean? And so I think she's gonna live with the fact that even if that her hands did it, she's gonna live through a life. 2 people gonna be saying the same thing you're saying, like they're gonna be believing that she probably knew what she was doing and she got away with it. She gonna live that down.
Man, that is so wild to me to see. And hey, look, shout out, the men. This is why I tell these men, Bond, they need to take that lust and degeneracy from the top of their value system because, if you know Look, man, like he knew that this woman was. Come on, he knew.
That's what.
You can see that woman. You see how that woman stares, and you see how the look in her eyes. Like, come on, bro.
That's if she liked
Ain't no way you didn't.
You know what I mean? Like if he didn't have kids with this woman who is a killer for real, then he responsible and she should get what she get. But suppose she really, and I think he said he did not recognize that in her.
Okay.
He said, I think when he took the stand, it was on some, she was ill,
SD, she got paralyzed because she fell out the window. She threw herself out the window.
Yeah, she tried to commit, she tried to delete herself too. But it didn't work, so she paralyzed, yeah.
But I think there is a lesson. There's a lesson to be learned from this. Fellas, y'all got to be careful. Y'all got to be careful. Just because you got a pretty face and a bubble booty, listen, you got to be careful. You got to start checking these family trees, okay? You got to start checking these things out, because who you laying down with, that's the bloodline. So you got to be very, very careful who y'all laying down with, because I even hear some of y'all say crazy woman got the best cooch. Stop doing that.
Come on. Because goddamn Lindsay, that means Lindsay got the best in the world right now.
Y'all got to be careful. Y'all got to be careful with who y'all laying with, because this whole thing, the women got to choose better. That fall on you too. Y'all got to choose better too now. This is a lesson to be learned about who y'all choosing to lay up with. Y'all not checking to see if these people got mental issues or nothing. Y'all better check. Okay, y'all better. This is extremely, extremely important, for the ladies, as well. Your therapist, document everything. Your gynecologist with your prenatal care, document everything. Black women especially, because you know how they treat us. Document everything. You've been trying to ask for help, they don't want to give you no help. Document it. Get a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh opinion on everything and document it down. Document that stuff down, because again, postpartum is a real thing. Psychosis is a real thing. And folks will sit up here and ignore everything until it hit the fan. Document everything. Dot your I's and cross your T's. When it comes to things like this, because ultimately, children don't ask to come here. They didn't ask to come here at all. You and your man decide to clap cheeks, and 9 months later, here they come. Okay, so you gotta take this stuff. You gotta take this stuff seriously, because at the end of the day, whether she did it on purpose because she didn't want to be a mama, whether she was going through psychosis and there was no level of urgency, the real victims in all of this are those kids that are no longer here. Those are the real victims, not her. Them children are the real victims, so they ain't asked to come here. And one can only imagine what them kids was going through when that stuff took place. My heart breaks for them kids. They ain't asked to be here. So it's a lesson. It's a lesson to be learned in all of this, because it's a sad state of affairs, and she might walk. She gonna walk with money. She gonna walk with money, because she over $1 million they done raised for this woman. She gonna walk with money.
They raised over $1 million for this woman.
Isn't it for her case, right? For lawyers and stuff.
No.
It's not?
No, it's not.
She got Miss Baum, she got a lot.
It's for support of her.
She got a lot of money and a lot of support. For the lawyer fees and stuff, it was already taken care of. This is just for
Hey, Mom, she deleted her own 3 children and she got over $1 million. I could barely get 20 likes. Crazy. It's wild. You know what I'm saying? Justice for Philip Adams. He had CTE, psychosis, imperious. Dang. I mean, hey, if you want to go ahead and start wearing blue shirts and saying you know, I guess it's all good. That's another thing. It's gonna. And you know, that's another thing that's kind of scary for me as well, because you know these men follow everything a woman does. Anytime a woman go through something, they gotta have to find a way to make themselves go through it as well. So now I don't know what we're gonna have.
Yeah, so I do know CTE is known because I think they found that these people who was playing sports was committing, you know, these things, right? They was self-harming and harming others. And somebody decided to do some investigative work. And that's where they found that, yes, something going on with the brain. And so now when we hear about this person, we kind of already say he probably has CTE.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Bomb, I got a question for you. For all the people that say, hey, if you are married right now and your wife is in support of Lindsay Clancy, you should divorce her. What do you say to that?
I think that's ridiculous. So just because she in support of, we knowing what the medical people do with the drugs.
No, she's in support of Lindsay Clancy. Let's say like the people ain't deep diving the way how we trying to deep dive and try to have some kind of understanding, right? Because we kind of went way past the surface level of the whole thing, right? And we trying to have some understanding on both sides of the aisle. If the we even put we trying to go through the whole scenarios, right? But what about because some of these ladies that are in support, they don't give a damn about none of the stuff we talking about. They like, no, the husband did it. That's it. Why? Because that's what men do. It's like, oh shit.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That's
it's a different scenario.
they a little different. You know what I'm saying? They not attempting to have a actual discussion and seeing what the hell, who went wrong. Is it the medical? Is it her past history? Is it her grandmother? She was crazy. You know, it ain't none of that kind of conversation.
Oh.
So now, if it's just a woman, she just have a pin, she just siding with the woman, and that's strictly it. What advice do you give that husband? Should he divorce his wife over support of Lindsay Clancy? Bomb Cherry, did we got love?
Oh, but damn, I don't know. Like, I can't support nobody who harm their children. But I can't tell a man who married a woman like that. I don't know. What I would say though, I like on some real shit, I wouldn't be supporting a woman who harmed her children like that, Except
okay.
As soon as I heard the story, I was like, that she deserved to be in jail for life. But then I started hearing the little particulars of, the mental thing and reaching out. Like, let's say she had a mental thing, but she never reached out. You know what I mean? Then I wouldn't feel sorry for her. I'd be like, she knew she was having issues. She should have reached out to some doctors or something. But I heard that this one was different. And that's why I think of it a little different. But
okay. Imperious, he says, imperious aspect of valid justice for Scott Peterson. He was in psychosis. LOL. And y'all ladies and gentlemen that's out there that have not supported today, make sure, and you never supported, make sure you don't let Imperious out support you, because that's ridiculous if he can out support you.
Scott Peterson wanted to get rid of his pregnant wife for his girlfriend. Okay.
Well, speaking of Scott Peterson, if I'm not mistaken, they was trying to give him a retrial. They trying to give him a little retrial based off of new evidence. And I'm like, well, what new evidence is this?
But they found the
Mm.
body. Didn't they found his wife's body and the baby?
And the baby.
Yeah, in the water, y'all. But she was, they found the bones of it.
That's
My
almost
bad,
like
My bad, Cloudhouse ENT. He says, would y'all let Lindsay babysit your kids? Hell no.
well, first of all, I don't have kids, but she wouldn't be babysitting my god kids. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Feels like
Not with that crazy stare that she got. She got that crazy. Hey, love. She got that crazy stare. Like
she do.
No. Yeah.
She
Yo,
got-
bomb. She got that. Yo, bomb. She got that. Woo.
She got that same stare as Casey Anthony. Like that type of stare of whatever they said they did it. That type of stare.
They did it for sure. For sure. They did it. when you see how she look, it's like, who did this such and such and such? Oh,
Like,
yeah,
oh,
it was you. Come here.
But
You
you know,
did it. Come here.
the crazy part about it, Sherrod, though, because some people believe it say Casey Anthony was under psychosis, and she end up walking. See how crazy that is? She ended up walking.
That's crazy.
They didn't mention that she was on no psychosis. They did not do that.
No,
But,
Mom, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is some people might even say Casey Anthony was under psychosis when she, unalived her daughter and she walked.
Right,
We know she didn't say that,
Right, but what I'm saying, she didn't walk because she walked mainly because they were shooting to say that she did something without any proof of her doing what they say she did. She says that, she was, her daughter was dead. She buried her. She made it seem like it was an accident. Then they couldn't prove otherwise.
So what she did was she walked because they tried to put it on the father, because tried to say that she said that the father touched her when she was young.
Yeah, but they use that to kind of but that's not what they were doing in a. She got off because they couldn't prove that she actually harmed her daughter.
And this case also proved that these men don't really want to have no conversation about holding no damn woman accountable. This is a layup for most men. Most of the time,
Right.
This is a layup.
They could have came up and said, "Bomb, you wrong," and I would have been like, "I don't know what happened. I wasn't there." Right? I'm just basing it on what I heard, and I don't know if it's true. And we're gonna let the jury, do their part, right?
This is a layup. Damn.
Discussion. Just a little discussion, piece of things together. But I think that's because for some men, they don't have to deal with it up close in person. They ain't got to deal with it. They ain't got to deal with the fallout. So it's like, I don't care. I don't care about this. But give it 2-3 months down the line, and we're having a separate conversation. They're gonna bring this up. They're gonna bring this up 2-3 months down the line.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, definitely gonna do that.
Well, what happened when we had the conversation where you could have just came up and just said something? No.
The thing is, we women, we are a lot of young women are chemically imbalanced. You birth control. They try this birth control, it don't work, or they don't like it. They try another one, right? They always medicating women. If she got bad cramps, she's on medicine, right? They got young women getting hysterectomies in their 20s. Like,
crazy.
Yeah, and so now she imbalanced for the rest of her until until she would have a hysterectomy or something in her 50s. She having it in her 20s. It's all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Women are more aggressive because of these drugs, and men are getting boobies because of the drugs. They on drugs too.
Damn.
You don't see them titties on the men.
Having the babies all confused. Don't know which titty to grab. Hey, love, what is your thoughts on if a married man finds out that his wife, without doing no deep dive, just on a superficial level, that she's in support of Lindsay Clancy? What is your thought? Should that man divorce his wife?
A conversation needs to be had. A conversation
That's for sure.
needs to be had about that, because if you are supporting a woman who killed her children, especially if y'all got children, and she's talking about psychosis, it's definitely a side eye. Like, okay, we sit down and have a conversation with you, because
Yeah. We need to further investigate this situation for sure.
you need to evaluate this situation, because you're supporting somebody that killed their child. Psychosis or no psychosis, no. And if she's still in support, draw up some papers.
Yeah, because you have to dive deeper. Like, what is it that you're supporting about this Lindsay case? That's what we have to know. We need to know, what is it you in support of, actually.
So men should divorce wives because of who they support?
Absolutely.
Shit,
my ass.
Man, I probably support all kinds of shit my husband would not be wanting me to.
Hey, Bob, so you don't think you should have a side eye if your husband's in heavy support of P. Diddy? He out there wearing free Diddy shirts?
He definitely get a side out for me, like
free R. Kelly? Free R. Kelly?
Oh yeah, I would have some. Yeah, I see your point. You made a point.
Yeah, like, wait a minute, definitely a
There's some
side eye.
kids, you know that yeah. So I see your point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I know we do understand there's a lot of men out there that support those fellas, right? And they got wives and they got women that support them. But we know ain't no shortage of degenerate men or women supporting some nonsense. So people that don't understand that's also weird to me too. Like, we know it's going to be somebody, like, nobody. It's no way I would have thought that would have a fleet full of women wearing all pink in support of this lady that also gathered up together to give out and push out over $1 million. That's wild.
That's the part to me that's scary. Like, it's not. I mean, if you say, okay, I understand psychosis, I understand postpartum. You know, like, I'm trying to put myself in the feet of a mother. Like, okay, postpartum, I went through a traumatic birth. Postpartum, I'm feeling some type of way. There's some psychosis going on. All of that, I can sympathize with that. But to go and take the life of my kids, and like, I can't put two and two together. Like, I can sympathize. I can sympathize with postpartum and psychosis. I can't sympathize with you taking the lives of your children. Like, that's where I got to draw the line. I can't do that. And then that's why I said in the beginning, there's just some women who just don't want to be mothers. Like, I can't put two for you to be like, I'm gonna kill my kid. Oh my God, psychosis. I can't. This is just. I can't wrap my brain around that, because I'm just like, well, how you go from here to here? And it's like, you got all this support from women who like, yeah, I understand. But I'm like, but your kid's still here though. Like, that's what I'm like, where do we draw the line? Because it's like, you can understand. So you're telling me you understand why she took her kids out of here. You a mama, but your kid's still here though.
I don't think that's what
Right.
people are saying. That's what you're hearing them say, but that's not what people are saying. People are not saying, I understand why she took her kids. Is she talking, or is that me coming through?
It could be sometimes my microphone be acted up. You know, read this. Peace ain't gone. Them ninjas ain't got no psychosis. They freaky as hell.
Yeah. So yeah, when you say you can sympathize with this and this, well, you really can't if you don't understand that this caused this, right? And just because some of us can sympathize with that don't mean we're okay that the kids are gone. But we have an understanding that she went through a mental situation that is why the kids are gone. But not only that, like, I'm not sure if you heard the husband testify, right? He comes in the house, she's already down, you know, look like she had broken and everything, and he wants to know where the kids are. He says he didn't recognize her. She acted normal and shit, right? Because she wasn't in the right mind. So she was already, he didn't recognize what was going on. And he goes to run to go get the kid. I think he said something about she mentioned something, but it didn't seem like her. So I guess, you know.
He's like, damn, ho. What? He said, you acting normal? Yeah, that's
You know what
crazy.
it remind me of? You ever seen that movie? It's a good movie too. Where they go on an island. It's two men, and it look like they're playing like they're detectives, but really in the end, one of them is a doctor and the other one is the mental patient.
Is that the island of Dr. Moreau? I think I know what you're talking about.
It's a good movie, and they supposed to be investigating how some people broke out, but really what they're trying to get him is to remember what he did. He ended up killing his wife, who killed his children, right? She killed the children. He shows up, she's out of it, and he ends up killing her. She was going through psychosis too in that movie. And then he went through a psychosis and killed her, you know?
Oh, that's Shutter Island.
Yeah, Shutter Island. That was good.
Shutter Island. I never seen that movie. Shutter Island.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm about to check that out. That sounds wild.
Yeah, because at the end, you know, the ending just shocks you. You know, I kind of just told you almost. Sorry.
Now, but you know, it's the crazy thing. Movies, people can't really spoil movies for me. Even if I know the ending, I still want to see how it leads up, and I could still be like really entertained, even if I know the outcome.
Yeah.
Because I'm more entertained by the story and how they put the story together. I enjoy a good story, regardless if I know it or not. Like, you know, like even with like all the comic book movies, I know what's going to happen before it happened. I've read damn near all the comic books, but I still be interested to see how they put it together in live action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
This is one of them ones though that caught me by. I had to go and watch it again because, you know, at the end it's like, wait, what? And then you go back and watch it again and be like, damn, okay, it was really good, really good. But no, I do see your point though, you know, because, you know, 3 of her kids are gone. I feel like if she intentionally harmed them kids, she evil.
Yeah, that's my issue.
Yeah, but wouldn't the husband? You don't think the husband would know that he's dealing with an evil woman?
That's what that is an issue that I do have. I was, you know, I do have an issue that like how you don't like, man, how you don't know, how you not paying attention to your woman, but like, come on, like, you mean to tell me you that blind that you don't know that your kids are in danger?
Right.
That's
so.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if she snapped, if she went into some psychosis, it make more sense that, you know, maybe he just wasn't aware what was going on. He saw something weird, but he wasn't aware. But he would know if she wanted to harm them kids. He would have, you know.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Like I don't know how you could go around acting like you didn't know she was trying to harm those kids.
Right.
Like you didn't have no conversations. Y'all was just just sexing her all crazy like that.
Then y'all
And
say
you had
she had
3. They wasn't. It wasn't like the kids was far apart. It was 5, 3, and 8 months.
Yeah.
So they ain't that far apart. They all was 2 years apart. So pretty much. Mm.
Then y'all, I think you said that they had money already, and didn't somebody was helping her take care of the kids? I thought one of y'all said that.
Yeah, she had a nanny too.
Nanny. Right. So therefore, like she got money, got a nanny, and she could have just let them kids live and it wouldn't have affected her.
And I think
she could have said right. She should have went about her damn business, right? Go ahead about her rich life.
And I think that's where some people, including myself, are a little critical when it comes to her, because it's like I can have a little bit of consideration if you was destitute, but you weren't destitute. You had a nanny. Y'all was well to do, so there was support there. There was a level of support there, and that's why I think it's just kind of like scratching your head, like, what's really going on here? What's really going on? That's why it's a part of me that's like, I get the psychosis, I get the postpartum, I get that, I can sympathize with you with that, I truly can. But how we get from that to killing your kids, I'm scratching my head around it. How we get from there to there. And there was help. I understand. You went to therapy. You dotted all your I's and crossed your T's. I'm going to give you that. I'm not going to take it away. I'm going to give that. But how we get from here to here, that's a hell of an extreme. That's why there was a part of me that's just like, I know it's extreme to think. Sometimes it is what it is. Maybe at some point she didn't want to be a mom. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Ms. Bombs, you and I are Scorpios. You know how we like to go deep on stuff. Now, I just think, in my humble opinion, she got tired of being a mama at some point in time. You got 8-month-old. How old was the middle one?
5, 3, and 8 months.
5, 3, and 8 months. Look at it. That. It's not an Irish twin situation, but it's almost like back to back to back to some extent. It can be stressful. And if the husband is acting aloof, that can add even extra stress if he acting aloof. So it's like, there's a part of me that's like, I really believe old girl did not want to be a mother anymore. And could this been premeditated? Could be. Because some people will dot their I's and cross their T's before they actually do something. It's called an alibi. So there's a part of me that can sympathize with the postpartum and the psychosis, but it's another part of me that's like, oh, you ain't fooling nobody for real. Because we done seen 2 minutes of this going back and forth. And I'm just like, Something in the buttermilk not clean about this situation. The women that's supporting her because postpartum, and I've experienced it too. My question is, how come your kid's still alive? Because see, at some point, we all think different things. We all have we all have certain thoughts depending on our situation. But the difference is we ain't gonna let it go to the extreme, because a thought is a thought, right? You don't have to actually act on the thought. She acted on the thought. It's like she acted on the thought.
You're the only one who making it seem like there's all these other women who their kids alive, right? There's a lot of women who went through postpartum and their kids aren't alive. Because it actually is a thing, especially if they went through the psychosis area. That's why they take the kids from the mother if she don't have any support, if she going through postpartum and won't take her medication. They take them kids away because them kids are in danger.
I agree with you on that. So if
we know postpartum places kids in danger, their lives in danger, then we know it's a real thing.
Right. No, it's real. I agree with you. But what happened with this situation? I'm gonna die on this hill about that situation. I'm gonna die on this hill.
I don't think she denied what she did to the kid. So what? Because like she could be in jail. They wouldn't have had no trial, no nothing. They trying to get her for premeditation though, right? Because they already know what she did. She admits to doing it and all of that. They could have. She would have. She would have went to jail. They trying to get her for more time, saying that she premeditatedly did it. And then she might walk because of that.
Yeah, that's the crazy. That's wild. That's wild that they try to get something so big that she might actually walk.
Right. Maybe that's the setup, right? Because she would have just pled guilty and took whatever time they was giving her. They decide maybe she don't deserve it, and they aim higher to where if they lose, she walks.
Scary shit.
That's a possibility too. They stack they premeditate. They stack all these charges on her, only for her, if she gets convicted of the lowest charge, and then probably get time served, or she's not guilty for reasons of insanity. That's why I said she got a 50-50 chance of walking.
She really do. Especially since they was deliberating for 10 hours. And then they said they come up, hey, that's, man, I'm like, ooh, that's not a good look. Peas ain't going. She might roll.
That's right.
She might, because again, you just said it, Sharon, 10 hours. The longer it takes for them to get a conviction, the more the odds are in her favor to walk. Because it might come out a hung jury. We can't come to a conclusion.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if the jurors are mothers themselves, they're going to have a lot of sympathy for her, and that's going to be contentious in that jury room.
You think just because women got mothers, they're going to have sympathy for her? Because some women.
I mean, that's what the history of this whole case is showing us. You know, with the woman wearing pink, those are mothers out there. It ain't a bunch of men out there, so you know.
Yeah, but they may be women who know about the mental health crisis, you know, and just because. So yeah, what I'm saying though, just because a woman is on a woman doesn't mean she's gonna have sympathy for a woman who killed her children. Right? Like
I mean, it's both things is possible. Yeah, both things is possible. Yeah.
But they hopefully take the case, or everything they learned in the case, right? While they're being jurors, they're gonna take everything in consideration, especially what them doctors said, with the pharmacists, anything that's dealing with that portion.
And then, you know, the scary part about them coming home, like, even though I understand the judge said you cannot watch anything about the case, you cannot read anything about the case, we know it is probably damn near impossible for those people to not to see, hear, or read anything about this case.
Oh, when they were sequestered, they had the
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's the proper word for it. Yes.
Sequestered. So yeah, it's hard for them to avoid that.
Especially with the case being so big at this point. Man, this is going to be very interesting. It's a lot of very strange women that are just saying some weird things.
So Sharon, so you saying they're really out there saying, without diving into anything, they just say she's a woman That's messed up. And
Yeah, they
because
like she a woman. They like she a woman. The husband did it. That's it.
oh, they blame the husband.
That's what I
Yeah.
I did hear. I thought that was just something somebody. I didn't know people really. But okay.
No, they're really
Nah, mom. They really dead serious. Like, nah, it's the husband because they and they got people that have whole elaborate stories on how this man masterminded this whole situation too.
yeah. That's on my, the support part. That's on my. Your kid's still here, man. And it's the husband did it. You don't understand what it's like to be a mom, and you don't understand what we go through. And I'm like, but how do y'all know the husband did it? The husband stand just as aloof and looking sad as I don't know what, as he should. He lost his children.
Right.
They got a bomb. They got people saying like, hey, how else can a man after 1 year find a new girlfriend? It's like, damn.
You got a new girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They said they were saying like, hey, he was him and the girlfriend was plotting against this whole thing, so they could all blah blah blah. He met the girl after the whole situation, and it's proven that he met her after the situation.
Some are trying to make it into it. What's the
So
man?
it's like it's wild.
What's
Look
that
like
guy's
somebody
name?
in the back. He's saying it's either prison or the mental hospital for life. Why would they be in a mental hospital for life? They wouldn't. Mental
Yeah,
hospital.
I don't like the mental health hospital thing, because it's up to how good of an actor that person is, or also the person can get actually healed, right? But I don't like that idea that it's kind of up to that person, and man, that's a scary thing. Because clearly, like how we just seen that one video with the lady in Miami, clearly she was already cleared that she's not under psychosis anymore, and she did 3 years, and she's free. Whew. That's Imperious back there, Mom.
Oh yeah, Imperious and his mama had sex. Okay, we know that's what him and his people do. And so he in the back saying stupid shit.
Oh man, that's too funny. Oh god. Oh man, thank you so much. Shout out to Wanda. I really appreciate it. It says, here's to support, but question, who tells you that you can take off multiple days? I'm reporting you to HR. Good day, Sharon. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know who told me. I bumped my head, Wanda. I bumped my head. Sheesh.
They want to know why you in the prison orange color, Sharon. Why you look like you in a jumpsuit, like you in prison?
I'm representing the Mets. That's all. In my state, blue and orange is a normal color. That's what we wear.
Yeah.
So that's the Knicks colors. That's the Mets colors. And that's the hockey team too, the Islanders colors as well. So we got 3 teams that wear blue and orange.
Okay.
Knicks and 5.
Yeah, I saw your chicken skinny legs over there. What you were doing? Where your pants at, Sharon? You're not supposed to be showing your legs. I'm gonna grab some meat out on your way. Here you go, baby. Here you go. How the family doing? Everybody good?
Everybody good, yeah. I gotta work with my chicken legs. They failed me the other day. I was running and my legs said nope. I couldn't even walk home.
Damn. Oh, you must have ran 3 miles. How many miles you did?
I did 1 mile, but I did it very fast. I pushed my body a little too hard, too soon.
Oh, okay. I know 1 mile ain't nothing for you, but you must be going.
I'm trying to chase down the 7-minute mile. So I was close, but my body said, "Don't do that shit. No time soon again." You know what I'm saying, Bob? I thought I was young again. My boss said, nah, chill out. You gotta work up into that, man. Shit. I had to ride a bike back home.
Okay.
That shit was crazy.
Legs, we quit. You better stop abusing us. Your legs said, no.
Yeah, I just said, nah. We ain't supposed to be running this goddamn fast. Like, I don't know what you thought this was.
Yeah, I saw your title. I thought your title was gonna be Messy Men Monday or some shit like. Didn't you have something like that? So I said I'm gonna stay.
That's what it was gonna be about. I was gonna talk about something completely different, but the chat kept on egging me on. I was trying to stay away from this until the verdict come out, so I could really have a deep dive, and see it and break down all the different talking points. But the chat was into it, so I was like, fuck it, might as well just go ahead and I could say that one for maybe later on tonight. I was thinking about, because I gotta start working in I want to work in, like, do 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon type of thing, or something of that nature. I'm trying to work it out, Bomb.
Yeah.
Trying to get the people to support good content, not just popular people. Cause it seems like they love to support the, whoever the celebrity is,
I don't know the
So,
celebrities.
just out here working and grinding. Just out here grinding, Bomb.
I know that's right.
Attempting to give YouTube what they looking for, but they be giving me a hard time on the videos. I gotta push out maybe more videos or get better at it. I don't know which one. It's one of the two, Bomb. I either gotta get better at putting out the 10-minute videos, or I just gotta push out more so YouTube know that I'm not playing around, that I'm actually doing the videos. You know what I mean?
Yes, because what the new guidelines take effect next year, February.
February, yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna really affect anybody this year except them shorts.
Yeah.
Because if you qualify this year, then you definitely, they're not gonna stop you in January, So you qualify for that. If you monetize this year, you made the qualification, you're gonna be able to get through. The difference is them shorts. Now you gotta have like what, 2 million. It's a lot of million on the shorts, y'all, and you gotta qualify every 3 months. So
they really putting the hammer down.
Oh yeah, with them shorts, you got, if you don't get the whatever you need every 3 months, then they're not gonna pay you on the shorts, but they will pay you on your long form videos, which ain't too much of nothing. It's like nickels on a, you know what I'm saying, 1,000 views get you what, a couple of cents and shit.
Yeah, I think you need like I think like every million is like $100.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, in hindsight, it's not necessarily a bad thing. That means folks won't regurgitate stuff. You actually have to really sit down and do some
You gotta
content.
create, yeah.
You gotta create. I know they also crack it down because of AI.
But you think so? Y'all think because they make you do more, people gonna create, or would they just be?
No, I think they're just making it more difficult for the non-creators, though. Yeah, I think creators is always going to create,
right?
But the ones that was just, figured out a way to hack the algorithm without actually putting in any kind of actual creativity to the work, I think it's going to affect them the most.
Yeah.
No. I remember this happened. YouTube, they had many apocalypse where they done changed the rules on people. You know what I'm saying? It's so they can use less money. They get more money for your ads, but they paying out less money.
Less, yeah. That's another great point. That's what's really seemed like it's happening. Is more people doing it, but they're giving out less money because I guess more people are getting paid. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember that ad price.
But they putting ads on people who don't even monetize.
Right.
So they just want the people to come and content. They don't want to pay them. So they do want
That's
people
true
to
too.
know what kind of content you put up. They ain't trying to stop none of that. They just don't want to pay.
That's true too.
Yeah, they don't want to pay.
Which
They're
means they gotta
definitely
have,
making it more difficult for sure.
yeah.
They're making it more difficult, and they're making people believe that this ain't real work. So, you know,
Now that
until you become a celebrity, and then that's like they like, oh man, you like the greatest, you the greatest streamer of all time. Oh really? Now he the greatest streamer. You know what I'm saying? Like people was calling people like Casanata bum just 2 years ago.
Oh really? 2 years?
Now,
Damn, he big.
maybe,
He got big fast, huh?
Look where he at. It's a lot of work.
look where he at now. He make millions of dollars a month.
And
So you
content
know,
creators.
now everybody sweat him and love him. So you know, it's an interesting thing. This whole internet thing, how it
But
be
his
flip flopping like
his
that.
his content is kind of cool though, because he out in the streets. You know, he out and about.
No,
Am I
hey,
too
teach his own.
the eyes?
I'll leave it alone. Hey, I'll leave it alone, Bob. Teach his own.
Oh man. No, I'm saying that's what the kids like though, right? Them kids like they're not really looking to have conversations.
Oh no, you talking about I Show Speed, Bomb. You talking about I Show Speed, the one that be like going to different countries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I Show Speed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now you got
But you know, they pretty close to each other anyway, but you know.
Then you got to compete with the celebrities, because wasn't the celebrities saying 10 years ago they was getting on content creators? Y'all broke, y'all don't know nothing. COVID came
Yeah.
on, celebrities doing content and podcasting, stealing from content creators,
Absolutely.
stealing from them, not giving them no props, and making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then you got content creators just keep rolling it out, getting demonetized, getting shadow banned. But a celebrity comes,
Yep.
take your whole idea, and they up.
They up. Absolutely, 100%. They the main ones talking about, hey, y'all broke and this, that, and the third, and the next thing you know, they doing the same exact thing. It's crazy.
That's a fact. That is a fact. You know, we about to go through this stagnation. So inflation and stagnation. We about
Ooh,
to
at the same time?
Yeah, we stagnant because the people in office not creating no jobs. In fact, they've deleted a lot of jobs, right? And then inflation keeps going up, and the cost of things. I went into BJ's. You know, BJ's is where you got to have a membership. You're gonna get better pricing, and oh my God, y'all, and it's about to get worse. They right now the food, the fast food, Sharon, because I know you're not here. Some of them have decided to give deals, better deals. They're gonna lower the pricing because they're not getting no money. People ain't got no money to be buying that fast food stuff no more like that. It's hard. It's about to get real hard. I don't think, you know, we as Black people, we gonna survive because we know how, especially depending on our age. You know what I mean? We're gonna know how to put some, instead of using meatballs, we're gonna be using wieners, okay? Wieners and spaghetti. But yeah, it's about to get hard.
Yeah, you know, like at one point, oxtails was considered a throwaway piece of meat, right? Now it's a goddamn delicacy.
Yeah.
Shit, even like lobster, you know, lobster and crabs, they used to serve that to the goddamn prisoners. That wasn't always an expensive item either. So, you know.
Isn't Nebraska about to go bankrupt, right? Is it Nebraska? Yeah,
What's about to go bankrupt?
The state of Nebraska is about to file bankruptcy.
What?
This man over here is destroying America, Sharon. Because
not Nebraska.
Nebraska has all the farms, a lot of farming, right?
Hell yeah. That's why it's kind of like surprising a little bit. Like, even though it's like it's a very lonely state, but they usually very kind of profitable. You know, it's funny. I was just talking about that the other day on stream. Like, people don't understand how cities actually make money.
That's right.
Damn.
Nebraska. The farming community is gone. These people losing their farms. They don't have no work.
Makes sense.
And so that's where the state survives through that, right? Through that money, the taxation and stuff, and those people who work there, who were living there, who them people that ran off or the
whatever,
kicked them out here. And so they don't have the money. They don't have the money.
Shit.
They begging for help. They begging Trump, please, please. And we're saying, hell nah. I don't want to give none of my taxes money to them. Fuck. They voted for this.
That's why people don't understand. That's why a lot of, I think they was told this a long time ago. There's a reason why they started moving back into the city and out and leaving the suburbs, right? Because in reality, the suburbs drains the city of wealth. Because you got more infrastructure for less people out in the suburbs. And so they moving back to the city where that's where the majority of the money comes from. It's going to give cities excuses to say, oh, we can't take care of this area. And now that's going to turn into the so-called ghetto area, the suburbs, right? That's going to be the new ghetto now. Because we can't afford to send all that money up there because it's this, and we got to worry about the population where the most people are that's making the most money. Hey, but people don't want to listen to me, goddamn it. They be acting like, they rather listen to Blueface.
That's something. He kicked that girl in the pool right before she had that baby. Kicked her in the back, in that pool.
Dang. Crazy. Well, with that being said, we're gonna regroup. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna try to wake up at 5 a.m. for me, which is gonna be 5 p.m. for y'all. So that means I get 4 hours of nap time. And let's try to do this. I'm gonna do my best to wake up and make sure I do like 2 shows. I'm gonna do about drop 2 more videos as well. And hopefully the videos will start making some traction. And this way, if the videos start making some traction, I don't have to depend so much on likes and shares on the live stream.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm working on it. Because I know people be, I know how it is out there for real. So I ain't mad at y'all.
Bye, everybody. I came over here to yell at Sharon. Okay, we got some things to get straightened out. When he have his smoke show, y'all remind me. Okay, I'm coming over. Okay,
don't worry. I'll make sure I put my black gloves and my do-rag on. I got you.
That's right. Okay, love y'all. Bye.
We'll have a good time.
Have a good day.
All right. Later. Nothing wrong with being. Let me